Hello everyone and welcome to the Saturday stream here on RQ Streams. My name is Anil and I will be your host for today. Hello chat, hello. How is everyone doing this cloudy rainy afternoon here in dreary East London? But hey folks, hey Grunchy. Good to see you all, and whoa, we're already on a level 4 hype train. Thank you so much everyone for your tremendous generosity here this afternoon. So quick bit of things for anyone who is expecting Mike on his usual Saturday slot. Oh, I'm looking very bright. Might need to let me just see if I can adjust the lighting a little bit. May have to tinker with that.
We're excited for extra time to hang out with
anyone expecting Mike here for his usual Saturday slot? Alas, Mike is in the process of moving house at the moment. So I have agreed to take over his spot and revisit a game that I played a couple of weeks ago, or at least tried to play a couple of weeks ago before Twitch and the old streaming rig that I was using decided it did not wish to play ball. Yes, Quixotic Anarchy, he is moving again. And no doubt he will probably tell you more about this when he is safely ensconced in his new place and his new studio next week. Thank you very much, Tafira. So, a little bit of admin. Hello, Anil. I am the community manager here at Rusty Quill. Rusty Quill is an entertainment production company and podcasting network, and we put out 3 shows a week, although one is currently on hiatus. Coming back in December, on December 4th, so Season 3 of Stellar Firma will start then. But we put also out the Magnus Archive, which is a horror show, and the actual play Pathfinder podcast, Rusty Quill Gaming. You can find details about everything that we do over on our website at www.rustyquill.com. And this RQ Streams project that we have been doing for very nearly a year now, it would not be possible at all without your amazing generosity and support in so many different ways, either by direct donation through the donate link, by supporting us by subscribing to the channel, which gets you some handy dandy emotes done by our lovely production manager April, or by cheering using those bits of yours, or by supporting us over on Patreon at patreon.com/rustyquill, where you will have access to a number of bonuses and extra rewards relating to the shows that we put out. Wow, I should actually catch up with what's happened here. Thank you very much, Probs Not Hawkeye, for the 3-month resub, saying, oh hey, 3 months, heck yeah. Thank you very much, Elea Thinks, for the 100 bits. Thank you very much, Molietsu, for your continuing amazing generosity with 5 Tier 1 community gift subs. And same goes for Tafira with another 5 community gift subs. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the channel, everyone who has come here via those gifts. Thank you very much, Lo-Fi Poetry, for the 4-month resub, going hype train, hype train. Elea Thinks with another 50 bits. Molietsu, blazing it here with 420 bits. German Dacium with the 100 bits. Tafira with 100 bits. And Anonymous Cheerer with another 100 bits. And a very nice ghost emote there with the cheer emote as well. Thank you very much for all the subs and bits. A reminder, it is not expected or necessary for you to do so. Please do give responsibly. We are still in the midst of a global pandemic, so we would caution that please do not give beyond your means. Also, do be aware that coming up in, just under 1 month's time, we have got RQ Gaming and Giving, our annual charity event. Will still be happening this year, despite some last minute changes to scheduling and things, because obviously we were waiting to see what the situation would be like, and alas, we are unable to have it in person this year. Who will be falling off a chair this time around? I don't know. It depends on who anybody who might have particularly lax home safety. Since we will be broadcasting from our own individual studios, rooms, lounges, wherever a webcam may be set up. And that starts on the 12th of December, Saturday the 12th of December at 11 a.m. GMT, and we'll be running for a full 24 hours of charity funness. Drudcup says, someone will fall off a sofa calling it out. Possibly with laughter. I wouldn't put it past someone. Hey, Nico. So, with that admin out of the way, what are we here to do today? So, regular viewers of my Wednesday stream will know that up until recently I've had a few issues, both with Twitch being problematic of a weekday evening and my own computer rig, streaming rig, not being quite up to the task of playing some of the latest games. Now that I have upgraded my machine, or now that Mike has upgraded his machine, and I have the old streaming PC that he was using, I should, fingers crossed and touch wood, be able to revisit some of those things that I had problems playing with previously. And one of those ones was Crusader Kings 3. So, fingers crossed that it will all be good today. I'm going to try and not blitz through the tutorial, but go a little bit quicker through the tutorial and look at how this new version of the game has done that. Apologies for anyone who was here on the Wednesday stream where I was explaining I was explaining like the fundamentals and the background behind the game. I am just going to quickly revisit that rather than try and make Mike splice in the old footage. Thank you very much, Angel Soda 82, for the 100 bits. And thank you very much, Make Some Time, for the 6-month resub. How's it been 6 months? Time is nonsense. Time is very much nonsense at this point. Oh dear, Hannah, your stream is lagging a bit. That's... I will have to say that I think that is probably your end. But do feel free, there are transcoding options. If you click the gear symbol on your stream, you can lower the transmission rate, and that might make things a little bit easier on your system. So, Crusader Kings 3. What is this game? Crusader Kings is a series, is one of the historical simulation games that is done by Paradox Interactive. Paradox is a Swedish entertainment company, have their hands in a lot of gaming pies, both tabletop and digital. And they have a suite of games that look at different eras of history and give you, the player, the chance to, play out grand sweeping visions and stories. And each of these games operates on a slightly different level and in a slightly different era. The earliest ones, the series effectively goes Crusader Kings, Europa Universalis, Victoria, Hearts of Iron. So Crusader Kings looks at basically the 9th to the 15th centuries. Europa Universalis looks at, I think, the 14th through to the 19th centuries. Victoria looks at like late 19th century through to the First World War, or just before the First World War, and then Hearts of Iron, or maybe just after the First World War, and then Hearts of Iron looks at interwar and Second World War. So in theory, what you can do actually is take a save game through all of these games to a grand finish. I have never done that. To be quite honest, Victoria and Hearts of Iron have never really appealed to me as games. I have played a fair bit of Europa Universalis 3, and I'm hoping to play EU4 on stream at some point as well next year. But going back to Crusader Kings. Crusader Kings is a little bit different in that although you are taking control of a character and looking at the grand sweep of nations, your focus is not so much on the country level. Your focus is on the ruler. You are very much looking at interpersonal relationships and dynastic affairs, and following the line of rulership for a particular place. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a country. You can start off ruling a barony or a duchy and seeing how things go from there. And there are lots of like story elements. One of the things that Crusader Kings 2, the previous iteration of this game, was particularly lauded for was the interesting storylines that you could get from both random events and the way that the procedurally generated system brings about as a narrative. Anybody who saw Lydia's streams on RimWorld will have heard her talking about the use of computer games as a narrative generator, as a way of generating story from either inauspicious starts or from a very basic start. Crusader Kings 2, Crusader Kings as a whole does something very similar. What we are looking at is effectively the role-playing of running a kingdom or running a administrative unit of land under historical pressures. Some of which are going to be known historical, and some of which become very decidedly ahistorical, particularly as we start deviating from known things and as player events take place. So basically, the content warnings for this are historical simulationism. There are real-world references and real-world historical references and certain real-world historical attitudes, particularly when it comes to religious affairs of the Middle Ages and gender issues. We are going to be playing with those to a certain extent. Lydia wasn't streaming on her own channel. Lydia was streaming on the RQ channel. The VODs for that should now be archived on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/Rusty Quill. Yeah, the content warning here is history. So bearing that in mind, these games also give you a broad palette not only to work with, but to exercise. So like we said with colonization, there are the options to exercise things for good and for ill, to see how things play out. And it is subject to your own limits of how comfortable you are in exercising those that the games get played. And obviously, we will see like however comfortable we are playing in that kind of sandpit. I don't really want to rehash all of the issues about playing historical games or historical simulationist games in that context. We did cover a lot of that in the colonization game when we looked at colonization analysis. The game can also be used to create a dynasty of giant milk-themed popes. Yes, it can. Anybody who saw Tim Meredith's playthrough on the Brothers Meredith channel will be familiar with the various lacto-religious crimes that he committed. I am not going to go down that line to any extent. We are going to forge our own path, obviously, and our own stories, and see what comes out from the way we are playing. It can, that does not mean it should. Yes, Tim has no power here. Well, Tim has no power here unless he is with Ben and they are doing their Trexel and David portal run-through. So. Thank you very much, German Dacium, for the 100 bits. So, as I say, bearing all of that in mind, we are going to look at, first the tutorial, and then we are going to look at the various options that the games present us with, and hopefully start a new game after the break. I'm hoping that I can get the tutorial done at least within the first hour. We can take a break and then push on. I am hoping to run this stream until 7, play out Mike's full 4-hour slot, though we will see. My shoulder hasn't exactly been super great today, but I have taken painkillers. And we will see how long things work out for. He manages to commit crimes in games where you didn't even think that was possible. Yeah. Although, to be fair, when I did a run of AI Dungeon as well, it was let's just say the game's fault that certain things ended out the way that it did. No, I will self-care first and foremost. Yes, very definitely, Moliere. But yeah, I say I want to show this. I really want to show this game off to you, and we've had immense difficulties doing so far. AI Dungeon is built for crimes, but that's not my fault. Yes. Oh, Farming Simulator. Oh gosh. Yeah, Tim and Amy's run through Farming Simulator was very definitely something. Thank you very much, Flawless Poo, and Rubik 1306 for the hydrate. Oh no, I'm not going to push myself too hard, Kazyeka. I know my limits, but I will run for as long as I feel comfortable. So let us get to the game. Oops, let me pause that. Let's not try and stress out the system any more than we have to. So hopefully this is going to work. I will need my headphones as we try and get the there. I don't want the music to be too overpowering. The music is really good in this game. One thing that we will say as from the get-go, up until very recently, Paradox games, these are grand strategy games, have not been very good at teaching you how to play. Crusader Kings 2, whilst a very, very good game, was impenetrable for a newcomer. You had to blindly stumble your way through a very complicated interface in order to try and get anywhere. It would be very usual for your first few runs through the game to be entirely trial and error, and you end up crash and burning in order to try and learn the game from first principles. The same goes for a certain extent for Europa Universalis 3. They have listened to people, and they have looked to implement better tutorials. We saw this to a certain degree when we looked at Stellaris, and those who were here, I'd say, for my first attempt at this game will have seen, I think, the great strides that they have made with CK3. We are going to have a quick look through this. I'm not going to read everything out, but I am going to give you a highlight. Question: is this the base game we are playing today? Yes, there is no. There are no expansions yet for Crusader Kings 3. There have been various patches. There is one bit of cosmetic DLC that is out, which I have. As soon as I did buy the package, which I bought the rather than buying just the base game, I did buy the package that will allow me access to the first expansion when that is released. So we will have that, and I will probably revisit this when it does so, depending on what comes into the game from there. I do expect a lot of hydration today because this is the kind of game where I will be talking a lot. Can I just check, is the music too loud, too soft, just right? As I say, I don't want to be too overwhelming because you do need to be able to hear me chat about this. Music is good, cool, just right. Okay, excellent. So let us start a new game. One of the things that they did do with CK3 is a quite significant graphics overhaul using 3D models, as opposed, like CK2 had good art, very much of the 2D kind, but they've gone a step further with this. Yes, it is. I've watched Adam Conover stream this game on his channel. Was completely lost as we're going on. Hopefully, I'm not going to go too slowly, but we are going to try and at least through the tutorial, and hopefully we will be figuring things out as we go along with the main game. So one of the things you can see is that we have the option of starting in various different places. This didn't give us the here we go. Because I have been tinkering and playing around with the game, it didn't give me the tutorial thing automatically. So we'll go to play tutorial, and we are told what Crusader Kings 3 is. So in this tutorial we'll be playing as Petty King Murchad, a ruler in Ireland. Lead your family and dynasty to defeat your enemies and become King of Ireland. So you can see right off the bat we're being given a target, a goal, and as with a lot of storytelling games and like role-playing driven games in general, you will be deciding your own goal. And it's the same if you're playing something like Civilization or so forth. You decide your own goal and decide how you're going to get there. Given DMCA strikes, issue less is more than in-game music. Yeah. Hopefully the game music is here. I think I did have a quick look, but I don't remember exactly. So we are going to play the game as Petty King Murchad, starting in 1066. You'll see we're being like hints and such down here as well. Okay, welcome to Crusader Kings 3. You are a medieval ruler. Your reign may be brief, but through your heirs you can bring your dynasty to prominence. Land is yours for the taking by way of sword or through marriage, and clever diplomacy can extend your reach far beyond the wildest dreams of any conqueror. Very specifically, there is no one way to win in Crusader Kings 3, only different ways to enjoy your story as it unfolds. Oh, the map is really pretty. Like, the cartography in Paradox games has always been one of their strongest points. So, WASD to move the camera around. We're being told you can use the home key to go to our realm capital, which in this case is Lemnech, which is the modern Irish city of Limerick in the county of Thomond. Apologies to any Gaelic speakers. My Gaelic and my Irish are not very good. I know very basics of pronunciation, but I do apologise if I get anything wrong. I've got Ormond, Desmond, Connaught, Athlone, Leinster, Dublin, Ossory, Brain, I think it is, or Brefen, Alec, Ulster, and Oriel, the various counties of Ireland. And it tells us that we can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel and go to various different levels. You can see the different details we've got here. So you can see We've got the various elements of Ireland. We've got Scotland, Sidrea, England, Gwynedd, Debarth, Morganwe, right next door, and then Brittany, France, and the Holy Roman Empire over here. Yeah, we are playing this game unmodded as well, just to be aware. So what you're being given is different information is displayed at the different zoom levels. You've got the details map, which gives you an overview of the various terrain. So as you can see here, you've got the political map, which comes up here, which tells you like who and what controls what, and you've got the paper map, which if we go right up will show you the extent of the world as it stands at any given time. So let's zoom back in on Ireland. Go next. As with most grand strategy games, you will be pausing and running time in various ways. Spacebar is the best way to do that, and you can set the various speeds for how quickly your time will progress down here in the corner. We're going to stick with the medium, the normal game speed. So tooltips. We are going to learn about highlighted text. One of the really good things that I like about this tutorial is that you can hover over it, and if you hover for a good few seconds, you will see that a border comes up around the tooltip, and that means that you can move your cursor off and into the box, and the box will stay there, and then you've got further nested tooltips like this. Excellent. So we're learning about the different types of land holdings you can have. So baronies are the lowest ranked title. They are organised into counties, and counties form parts of duchies, and duchies are the ranking below kingdom. So moving on, we come to our character, Petty King Murchad MacDonchad of Munster. We are 39 years old, and we have a bunch of traits. That's what they are. And so you're talking about our ruler. The world consists of large and small territories, landed titles held by various rulers. Titles are represented by elaborate coat of arms, so like this, or like this in the corner here, which tells us that we are in control of the petty kingdom of Munster. Must make sure that I'm pronouncing it Munster, because I have a tendency to try and pronounce it Munster, which would be the German territory. The icon representing your realm is that of your primary title, so the most prestigious one that we hold, let's say, for the petty kingdom. And we are told that this is a duchy rank realm, because not every duchy is going to be called the same thing the world over. And it also tells us that we are, so we hold the petty kingdom of Munster duchy title, and that is our primary title, as you can see here. And it tells us who our heirs are. We also hold the earldom of Thomond, and this has its own line of succession. We're also told that we have a claim on the Kingdom of Ireland as a whole. If you hover over our character portrait, so like that, the coat of arms will glow, and the entirety of the realm, so all the lands that we are currently controlling, will be highlighted on the screen like there, so you can see the bright white border around it. And if we zoom out, it says that it's Munster because that's the duchy level that we control. So, as a ruler, I can only control so much land on my own. I will often have other rulers who are helping me with the administration. They hold various lands or titles within my realm, which makes them my vassals. And vassalage is a very important concept in this game. So, whilst I am the Earl of Thomond, I also control Ormond. but the earldom of Ormond is held by my vassal. And so if I click on Ormond, you can see that it is held by Earl Ragnvald Sigtryggson of Ormond. He is my steward and my vassal. And he's currently got a -1 favour of me. Okay. So, close that. Move. So you play as one of many characters in this world, and we play as the ruler of the realm. So I click on my character. Characters have skills, and these skills, like your stats in a role-playing game, determine how good you are at doing various things. We have 5 main skills. We've got diplomacy. We've got martial, how good we are at combat. Diplomacy is how good we are at interacting with other rulers. Stewardship, how good we are at controlling or running our territories. Intrigue, how good we are at foiling plans or creating schemes. And our learning, which is terrible at the moment because we are impatient. Learning is important for heritable traits and things like that. So as I say, we can mouse over to see what we can do. So learning improves our piety, reduces the prestige cost to increase crown authority. Intrigue increases the effectiveness of intrigue schemes, increases your chance to successfully imprison another character. Stewardship affects your taxes and how many domains you can have under your control. Martial is how large an army you can raise and how quickly you can reinforce that army, and how good you are at controlling armies if you decide to be the commander yourself. And your diplomacy is your prestige and general opinions of you. We also have character traits, and these are randomly generated. Some are randomly generated on character start. Some you can pick up in the game depending on the decisions that you make. So our Petty King Murshad is temperate, which gives us a boost to stewardship and boosts our health to a certain extent. We are wrathful, which decreases our diplomacy but increases our martial skill. It also means that we carry a natural level of dread. People are scared of us. We are also impatient, which affects our learning, but means that our prestige is improved each month. Vassal opinions are lower, and we don't like patient characters. And we've also got education trait. So we are a skilled tactician because which gives us a boost to our martial ability, and we are a cautious leader. So it means that we don't take risks in battles. Careful not to take any unnecessary risk in battles, but does so at the cost of potential gain. So we can see from this that our character typically leads a modest life and expects others to do the same, and is quick to anger when they don't. When a character chooses to behave contrary to their personality traits, it will cause them stress. We're told that stress is the mental well-being. Characters who gain enough stress will gain a stress level, which will cause various negative effects. And this all leads to the role-playing and the kind of decisions that we can make as our ruler. Traits can also impact how other characters react to you. Some are impressed by the brave trait, while a lustful character is more likely to feature in gossip. All characters, and it really is every single character, will have an opinion of you and everybody else that drives how they interact with you. Low opinions can cause problems. High opinions means that they are more likely to help or, as it says, fall for our seduction. As you can see, we have an heir who is my son. He is my son, player, heir, and the knight. And he is also an irrational lackey, apparently. But he has a +77 opinion of me, which is good. You'd hope that your children do. Or at least you'd hope that your heir does. Opinions can range from +100 to -100, and how far you are along the various axes along that axis will determine their various reactions to you. You can see that I have, you can see the family tree down here. You can see that I have one son, and I have various siblings. I have a half sister, I have a half brother, Contrabar, and Lorcan is another half brother who's also my marshal. Okay, cool. And they both have positive opinions of me to varying degrees. And there is a hydrate from Joe. Thank you. Oscar Builder 3 says, join my murder scheme is how I ask people out. Fair. So, resources. As with any kind of strategy game, we are going to need varying resources in order to be able to carry out the things that we want to do. So we'll need gold to pay for buildings, for armies, for bribes, collected passively from our holdings, and this is what tells you what a holding is, the central settlement of a barony or a county. Cool. And our vassals as tax. Larger vassals give more tax. Money can't buy everything. Certain things can only be achieved by spending prestige or piety. And what you'll see is that we also require, we require prestige and piety in order to enact various schemes at the national or the intrigue level. So, there has been a comfort crew. Let me grab Hamid. That. I've got a new chair courtesy of Mike as well. So Hamid, Crochet Hamid is here to help. Thank you, Flawless Poop, for redeeming the comfort crew time. And Hamid, I don't know. Hamid will be my unofficial advisor for today's games. We will see what sage advice this redoubtable halfling has for us. Can he sit in my pocket? Yes. There we go. Comfortable there, Hamid? Good. Yes. Let's make Hamid our geopolitical advisor. That can't go wrong in any way, shape, or form. Capitalism and fireball. So you can see we've got gold, and it tells us what our monthly income is. We get 1.8 gold a month from the domain and 0.5 from vassal taxes. So we've got an overall positive monthly gain of gold. We've got prestige, which tells us that we are established and we are working towards a distinguished level of prestige. Piety, we gain +2 a month. Renown, 0.8 a month. Okay. And this tells us how many soldiers we've got, how many knights, how big our armies we can draw upon. And we've got 1 castle out of a potential 5. Prestige will tell us how respected we are. Obviously, more titles we have, or actually by marrying into prestigious dynasties or fighting as allies. Actions cost prestige, like declaring war. They allow us to leverage our celebrity for our own benefit. Piety, with lots of piety, you have an easier time interacting with your head of faith. We are Catholic at present, so that is the Pope in Rome. And we have a level of devotion. Some actions require piety, like declaring holy wars or creating new faith. So lifestyles, as well as the traits that we talked about, characters can pick a lifestyle, 5 different lifestyles for each skill, and they have various focuses as well. So we click the lifestyle button, and we're given the option of whether we want a diplomatic, a martial, a stewardish, an intrigue, or a learning lifestyle. Now, we're told that we have a martial education, so we gain more experience if we choose a martial lifestyle. That doesn't mean that we have to, but generally speaking, you will level up quicker if you do if you follow what your education drives. So as time goes by, your character will earn lifestyle experience for maintaining it, and you can select various perks. And so this is tree level advancement. So if we click on Marshal, we can see that we have 2, 4, 6. We have 8. We have 8 perks already unlocked in this lifestyle using the Gallant tree, or Gallant. Our marshals, we could be a strategist, we can be an overseer, or we can be a Gallant or Gallant. And there are various focus. So strategy, and it's all very clear as to what it gives you. Now, one of the things that grand strategy games as a whole, and this game in particular, involves is a certain degree of micromanagement. You are going to be given a lot of stats and numbers to work with. How much you want to engage with them is up to you. You don't necessarily have to micromanage down to the last gold piece, but there is a certain amount to be said for the more that you understand how the numbers work, and the more that you look at the numbers and tweak them, the more you are going to get or work towards the goals that you want. I tend to favour a kind of like middle ground. I don't necessarily understand all the numbers, and understanding all the numbers does actually require a lot of investment in the game. It is one of those games that, in inverted commas, rewards you for the more time that you spend on it in order to get better at understanding what all the different little things mean. But for the most part, like, a broad understanding is like, if we pick the strategy focus, we are better at being a military commander. If we pick the authority focus, we are slightly better at being a military commander, but it also means that we are more feared. But it makes it easier to control the territories that we take over. Or we can pick the chivalry focus. Victory comes not through blood or gold, but honour. So that gives us better ability in battle. It means that we are more attractive. It means that we get better advantages in battle. I am going to go and pick for this guy. He has got a strategy focus, because I see a lot of battles coming in our future. So this means that we become a better tactician, for example. And you can change these every 5 years. So how do we interact with other characters? There are very many options that we have. You can right click on the character portrait to get various interactions. So you see what we have got. We can arrange a marriage, find a spouse, educate a child. We'll open our character's view, and then we will right click our heir. So we can try and arrange a marriage for Brian. Find him a spouse to try and sway him and improve his opinion. Send him a gift, educate a child, as in give him a child to educate. We could even go the hostile route and imprison him if we wanted to, or try to imprison him. We've got options for grant him a title. So give up one of our titles to our heir so that he has actually something to control. So what we're being asked to do is send a gift. Okay. We will send him 50 gold, and he will improve his opinion by 13. Okay, sure. Yeah. Let's put that there so it's more readily to hand. Okay, so I'm just going to move this a bit. I know that my camera is going to be covering a little bit of the screen. There are a couple of things that will come up at the top there, but they are less important than me trying to find somewhere else on screen, because almost every other bit of the where I could put a camera is occupied by information. Oh, thank you very much, Angel Soda 82. That's very nice of you to say so. So, well done! You've successfully increased somebody's opinion of you. And you can see that we also get a activity feed down here in the right-hand side, which tells us exactly what has happened as well. We can click on that to minimize it. Certain opinion modifiers last forever, like family bonds. Others will wane over time, like the fading memory of receiving a monetary gift. And as I say, you can see exactly where the opinion comes from if you hover over the opinion value. Well, so let's talk about our dynasty. So what is a dynasty? A group of noble descendants of landed ancestors. Yep, the original house can split into new ones, a cadet branch, and all are still members of the wider dynasty. When your character dies, you must have a player heir, or the game will end. Although you can technically carry on through another ruler. Much like prestige for characters, dynasties have renown. So, as the game goes on, unless your character meets with an untimely accident or terrible disease, they will grow old and eventually die. I mean, we're 39 already. As long as your titles have heirs of your dynasty, your legacy will live on. When your character dies, you simply start playing as your player heir. Depending on the type of succession your realm has, and at the moment we've got, I think, what's called Confederate Partition. So all children inherit equally. Under Confederate Partition, your titles will be divided equally between your children. New titles may be created for younger realm heirs. This is likely to be one of your children, perhaps one that you have groomed to rule. And it's possible that you may choose somebody else, depending on the type of succession you have, or the traits that you want your ruler to have, i.e. the traits you want to play for the next character. So you can click on your coat of arms for information, and it tells us about the Delgakai dynasty. Our motto is by wisdom and virtue, although, our leader isn't exactly the wisest. And we're told that our dynasty is insignificant at the moment. We have 15 living members and 2 houses. The House of Brienne and the House of Dalkai. Yeah, this is how realms get hopelessly divided. It's one of those things that, like, the more children you have, the more you're likely to end up with a subdivided realm. So you almost want, like, few good children. But the more children you have, the more likely you are to be able to marry them off. So it swings and roundabouts. Mira, you are playing Denmark, right? No, this is Ireland. We're playing as we're doing the tutorial at the moment in Ireland. I am not going to be picking a European country for my playthrough, and we will talk about that in a bit. So we're being asked to look at our succession laws. Some cases, when you take over your new character, you may even find that they are responsible for the untimely demise of your previous ruler. So we've got a bunch of icons over on the right-hand side. Our realm, our military, our council. Unfortunately, it's the move the mouse and your map moves as well. So I'm going to try and keep it as our military, our council, our court, our intrigue schemes, the various factions that might be rising against us, and decisions. So we're being asked to look at our realm. So this will tell you about the various, about what Petty Kingdom of Munster currently looks like, and our succession. And I say Confederate Partition, male preference, men take preference over women in succession because we're using historical agnatic cognatic law. And if, depending on the various doctrines that our faith has, we've got different things like consorts and concubines or polygamous marriage. So, to view the dynasty legacy of a dynasty, click on their dynasty coat of arms. So yeah. So yeah, that will just tell us what we have got. Increasing your renown increases your level of splendor, and that will allow us to unlock various dynasty legacies. Not immediately relevant. To ensure the future of your dynasty, you need family members. Getting married is a good start, but we cannot promise that you will marry for love. And obviously, I mean, we're looking at historical things. A lot of aristocratic marriage, of course, is not done on a love basis. It was done for security of land. It was for security of title and political reasons, basically. And that is continued through in CK, in the CK franchise. So we'll click on our character. Let's get married. What we are going to do is right click on our character and select find a spouse. And this gives us a list of the options available to us, who will be hailing from courts all over the world. It's a huge tracts of land. So choosing arranged marriage opens a list of spouses, but they will only be from the court of the character you clicked. Arrange a marriage is useful for matchmaking between your courtiers, or setting up specific marriage alliances. For now, find spouse is more appropriate. So we are being told that we've got options from Hunid Ferchbledin Mathrafal, who is of House Mathrafal, and this would give us a potential alliance with the Principality of Gwynedd, and you can see that they are of Welsh culture. And you're also given the various skills that they have, and we can sort as appropriate. The thing to remember here, obviously, is you can arrange a marriage or find a spouse for any character. This includes children. Obviously, the age of marriage is given as a historical one, so that's 16. Prior to that point, it will be betrothal. You can arrange for younger heirs to be married off at when they turn 16. The interesting thing to note, obviously, is that if you do set up a betrothal of that nature, you will get a prompt when they are of age to ask you whether or not you wish to continue with the betrothal that you had previously arranged. That is something I have found out through my playthrough. So we're also being given Countess Oda of Dockham in the county of Dockham, which I think is probably somewhere in Eastern Europe. Rangia Trencavel with a potential alliance in the county of Carcassonne. If we've got various options, and we're also given like what traits they have. So Hunith is gluttonous, calm, and trusting. Gwynlian is craven, trusting, and arbitrary. You'll note the kind of like randomness to a lot of these. German Dacia says, "Swipe a right, my lord." God, yeah, this is very much medieval Tinder. Yeah. Agnes Wettin is fickle, diligent, and brave. Those are actually some nice traits. But what we're going to look at is you can sort by things like relevance or alliance power or prestige gain, rank, age, opinion of view, all their various skills. I would kind of like some. Let's see, alliance power. And we've been given some very young options here, which I think we are going to filter. Toggle the filter and say that they need to be an adult. And we are going to say that we are 39, so let's put a maximum age difference of 10. Yes. Thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter, for giving a gift sub to Julie Loops. Welcome to the channel, courtesy of the Anonymous Gifter. So let's apply this and see what we've got. So our top option is Beatrice de Poitou, who is a potential alliance with the Duchy of Aquitaine, and has claims to the Duchy of Aquitaine, the Duchy of Poitou, the County of Bordeaux, the County of Marsin, and the County of Saintonge. Is also a Catholic, so would have things. What are her? She is greedy, which decreases her diplomacy, but it means a 15% monthly income. Is chaste, and is ambitious, which is a nice boost to all things, but does give negative to the opinion of her liege. So what does she have? She's got a very high martial skill, good stewardship. This one, good learning though for Agnes. Has a potential alliance with the Duchy of Lausitz. Or there's Countess Edgith the Fair of Bedford, who has some very good... Oh, wow. She's got 20 stewardship. She is pretty, which is a congenital trait. She is generous, she is diligent, and she is calm. This sounds like House Swanishals. So let's see... she's got good learning as well. I'm liking the look of Countess Edgith. Let's have a look at Countess Edgith. She is a vassal in the Kingdom of England. She is an analytic lackey. She is gay, though. Has Midas touched? Oh, that's a really good trait. As we say, we are not marrying for love, but we are marrying for political gain. And she has... she is the ruler of Bedford, of the earldom of Bedford, which means that we would get a potential claim to the earldoms of Bedford, Hereford, and Buckingham. Bryn says, "Marry her and let her have a concubine." Yeah, I mean, we can assume that is the way the story goes. Oh, silver color. I really like that. Political gain. So, her heir, her liege is Harold II Godwinson of England, whose heir is Harold. Seems like she has had children with Harold, which is interesting. I'm not entirely sure how to read some of the information that we are being given, but what do you think? What do you think, Hamid? Is this the person that we should woo? Yeah. You find it favourable as well. Okay, cool. I think we are going to propose to Countess Edgif of Bedford. And apparently it is she will accept. And we are told that Bedford's military strength is actually quite similar to ours. We will lose 100 prestige. But that is a good price to pay, I feel. So we will send a proposal. To the amicable pretty King Murchad of Munster, I, Edgif, gladly accept your hand in marriage. May God grant us a long life and many children, my amicable husband. I think this can be a very amicable relationship. Howard says, swipeth, my lord, swipeth. Excellent. So let's move next. There are many factors when choosing a spouse. Okay, cool. We've already done that. Let's move back. Presented with details of the union and whether or not we want the marriage to be matrilineal. So in theory, we could have children born into the mother's line as opposed to the father's line. By default, marriages generally are patrilineal. Excellent. May you live long and happily together. You may have noted the toast message at the top of the screen. Toast messages deliver quick-fire information that is relevant to character. We didn't actually see any of those. For this tutorial, we recommend that you use Find Spouse for your son as well. As soon as your son is married, he can start producing members of your family and heirs to your titles who are of your dynasty. Okay. Yeah, in future it won't hurt to keep an eye on your family, their line of succession. You might end up inheriting titles along with lands and vassals for your relatives. And this is where you can go really deep on the diplomacy side and like the manipulation of familial relationships in order to generate a way of getting land that way. Yeah. Oh dear, what are you asking Bryn to do? Right, okay. How about RQG meets RQ stream one day and play in character together? Okay, so that's good. Not everyone in my dynasty will be landowners, but every plot of the land has an owner. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's one of my vassals, sometimes it's another realm entirely. So, as I quickly ran through earlier, but here we are given what the list of titles are. So you've got, technically you've got baronies, which are ruled by varying people of importance. Then you've got counties, ruled by count or countess, duchies, duke or duchess, kingdom, king or queen, and the empire, ruled by emperor or empress. Every title is legally, or technically, but not in practice, subordinate to a title one tier up the chain. And as I said before, there are many dynamic names for the title, so Petty Kingdom is equivalent to a duchy. There are also barons. We have one who is the mayor of Innis, which is here. And the current holder is Mayor Finsnechter of Innis. Barony tier characters are generally of minor importance and are not playable. We'll say legally, because as Crusader Kings 3 lets you play with history, there's no way to guarantee that King is actually in control of all of the titles in his kingdom. So we call this title hierarchy de jure, and this is a phrase that we are going to come across an awful lot. And de jure title hierarchies, our structure has been broken down so it's possible to declare war over errant territories. So if you switch to the Duchy Titles Map mode, so we're being shown down here, so we can go to Duchy Titles. And I'll zoom out a bit so that we can see this. You can see the various... we don't actually control all of the... while our territory control is like Thormund and Omund, we don't actually control all of the counties that form the Duchy of Munster. We technically don't own Desmond. That's held by Earl Murdoch MacCarthy. And of course, then we've got like Connaught, Meath, Leinster, and Ulster. So we'll return to the realms map. So, the de jure title of Munster consists of 3 counties: Thormund, which is controlled by me; Ormond, which is controlled by my vassal; and Desmond, which is controlled by a nearby ruler. Counties are controlled by baronies, so you can see that Desmond is formed of the barony of Tralee, the barony of Baltimore, the barony of Kinsale, and the city of Cork. Likewise, we've got the barony of Lemnach, the city of Innis, the bishopric of Emly, the bishopric of Roscrea, the city of Clonmel, and the barony of Vedrafjord. Thank you very much, Indis, for the 3-month resub. I know I'm never really present in chat, but I wanted to thank you for the great content and company. Oh, thank you very much. We welcome lurkers as well as active chatters. You are all very much welcome here, regardless of how much you choose to interact or otherwise. That. So, holdings provide different levels of taxes and levies, as well as buildings that you can construct. So, if we click on Lemnach, we're shown, like, you can go right down to the level of being able to construct different types of buildings or upgrade buildings, and we're given the various the various different things, and it's very nice that it will, like, the different things that you click on or hover over, it will highlight to show you just exactly what is involved. So Limerick is our primary castle holding. We're being asked to upgrade the bastions and curtain walls. So we can click on here, and it gives us a progression. So we can upgrade the bastions and curtain walls to a bailey, which will cost 225 gold and take 3 years to build. So we can click on that, and you can see that it would improve our taxes, improve the fort level, improve the garrison, which is very useful when it comes to sieging, and the supply limit is the number of soldiers that we can have in a barony. So let's upgrade to a bailey, which obviously will take time. So we can close this and this. So taxation. Every holding provides taxes. If that holder is a vassal, they'll pay the taxes to their liege. As we saw before, the taxes are our main source of income. What you'll also be able to do later on, or depending on how far you want to go down, is that all your vassals have a contract with you, and you can adjust their contracts to determine how much taxes they will take or how much they will keep for themselves. We are the liege of at least one vassal. These are rulers who have sworn fealty to you and are thus part of your realm. So we'll just click on this to see who our vassals are. So let's see. We've got two vassals. Earl Ragnaval Sigtryggson, who is the Earl of Ormond, and is classed as a powerful vassal. We also have Mayor Finsnechter of Finsnich. I don't know how to pronounce that surname, apologies. of Innis, who is my spy master, and a knight, and is also a powerful vassal. And you can see the kind of levies that they are able to give to you, and both in taxes and in manpower. We can also see that they have they have near neutral opinions of me. Yeah. So this will give us a general view, and our vassals generally have a positive opinion of us. Thank you very much, RPJ7, for giving 5 tier 1 subs to the Primal Collective, Mir of Mir, Captain Loop, Venomous Daisy, and the Couch Coward. Welcome to the channel, courtesy of RPJ7. Much appreciated. So obviously it's worthwhile keeping our vassals happy. This keeps them out of scheming against us. No matter how mighty a ruler your character is, if your realm unites against you, either to depose you through war or just murder us while we sleep, your reign is bound to be cut short. Some of the vassals might serve on our council, which makes their opinion extra important. So what we'll have is, we can see also there is a limit to our vassals. We can have a maximum of 20. So this is one thing to be mindful of when we are playing our own game or moving into a longer game, not to grow too quickly. If you end up exceeding your vassal limits, you can grant lower titles to your vassals. Sometimes you can even create new high tier titles to consolidate your power in a region, which is an important point. So as we said, the realm is our complete body of land and titles that we hold. When domain is used, we are instead referring to the land that you own personally without vassals. So our realm is Thomond and Ormond. Our domain is Thomond. So our personal holding limit is domain limit. I think that's 6. Our personal domain limit, and we can grant title to do that. Yeah. So we also have a council, and this is where the vassals come. Knowing who your vassals are and what they can do is very important, because you have a council of people who work for you. Well, we've got a bishop, who the Bishop Stigand of Munster, who is a villain apparently, and doesn't think much of us. They are of House Canterbury. Okay. Councillors set to work, and they all do different things. You can change your councillor's task by clicking on their the button near their portrait. So bishops can improve religious relations, convert faith, or can fabricate a claim on a county. And this is going to be very important when it comes to trying to expand territory. Fabricate claim is one of the easiest ways, if you've got good money, to basically say, I like the look of that territory, I want to find a reason to have it. Thank you very much, Molietsu, for giving out 5 more community gift subs, and thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter, for giving a sub to Murmuruk, or Murmur UK, however that is supposed to be pronounced. Again, super generous of all of you. Thank you so much. Right now we've got our bishop improving our religious relations, which basically is generating piety. Whoa!
This is for all lurking and chatting friends, and a lovely Anil stream. Love you all. Best place. Best people.
Thank you so much, Joe Mendasium. That is really, really generous of you, cheering with 1,000 bits. That was also really loud in my ear. I might have to turn down the notification volumes, because but again, thank you so much for that. We've got our Chancellor, who is Tordelbach, who is our cousin. Apparently he's a zealot, and what chancellors can do is work on foreign affairs, domestic affairs, which improves our vassal opinions, and integrating titles, although we don't have that as yet. We've got a steward who's responsible for collecting taxes, and that's Earl Ragnvald of Ormond. He's got a stewardship of 16, which is a really good, so I don't think we need to change him. He can collect taxes, he can increase the development, which will make it quicker to control, build things, or promote culture if we wanted to change the culture of a county. Our marshal is Lorcan, our half brother, and our spy master is the mayor of Innis. I mean, we've got like either average or good in our thing, so I don't think we necessarily need to change anything. Our two powerful vassals hold a position, which is good. So, as I say, powerful vassals expect to be appointed and will be unhappy if left out. Unfortunately, the more as you grow your territories and things, you only have 5 councillor positions. You may end up with more powerful vassals than you have positions to give them. So you just have to play the balancing game of how much and who you piss off, basically. Okay. We've also got schemes, our intrigues and things like that, which are long-term goals aimed at another character. You can have hostile ones like murder or abduction, or more wholesome ones like befriend or sway. We'll have a look as we open up the intrigue tab. No hostile scheme is in progress. We've got no personal schemes, and we haven't discovered any secrets. A good time to use a scheme might be when you find the line of succession to not be clear-cut and favourable as you like. One way to get ahead is to simply remove the competition quietly and with no witnesses. So murder schemes come with a risk of discovery. Okay. And it will generally make you unpopular. Duh. The sway scheme is used for increasing the opinion someone has of your character. So we'll open our council again. As you can see, our bishop does not like us. So we'll right click on him and say sway. So what we're told is we've got a 60% chance, if the scheme is successful, that Stigand's opinion will increase by 25. It will take 22 months to complete the scheme, and we can repeat this every 22 months. Moetsu, evil half. Altruism, the succession. Altruism is a very popular way of advancement, very historically. Yeah. I need a side table to actually put my drink on. So we'll start the scheme. We can now open the Intrigues tab, and it will show us that we've got a personal scheme working on the Baron Stigand. Sometimes schemes can give rise to secrets. If you catch someone trying to commit murder, it's probably in their best interest to make sure you keep it quiet. So if you do discover secrets, you're able to start blackmailing your vassals or your courtiers, which will do things like give them hooks. So let's pretend you've managed to get a hook on one of our vassals. This weak hook, they've just given us a weak hook on Earl Ragnvald. Can be used for a number of things. For example, you can increase the obligation set by the feudal contract. So what we can do is go to him, right click, and say modify feudal contract. Okay, let me just go back to that so that you can see. So he's Ormond Ragnaval, right click. So what you're able to do is, if we wanted to use a hook, we could do things like changing the rights on the earldom of Ormond. This is Ragnaval a Featherford, the ruler of Ormond. We could say that he has to increase his levies to 35%, so give us more soldiers, or increase his taxation rate by 5%. And using a hook would mean that they kind of have to obey. Yeah. So war. War is a very complicated situation. We are only going to look at it briefly in this tutorial. Most important events are battles, which are fought by armies. Most of your soldiers will come from levies, but you can expand the armies by creating men-at-arms. And if things get really tough, we could hire mercenaries, assuming that we've got the gold for it. When a war starts, you raise your army by clicking a big red button, which is raise all armies, and when it's over, you disband it. So, not disbanding means that you will rack up increasing costs every month because it costs to keep an army on the go. And you'll see a red flag here which tells us where our rally point is. So that's where our armies are going to be raised. Now, as with most of the other grand strategy games, the term casus belli, or reason for war, is a very important one. So we'll just go. So cause for war, it's a reason to declare war on another ruler. And it will specify what you are going to war over. So either a title or for a particular reason. So usually it's a specific territory, which is called the war target. It isn't possible to gain anything more than the casus belli allows, regardless of how soundly the enemy is defeated, and that's an important thing to note. And the most important casus belli is probably a claim, whether it either comes from the succession rights, or whether or not you fabricate a claim on a territory, which is what we use the court chaplain to do. Now, almost there. Obviously, you can use 1 to 5 to change the speed. Certain events are going to auto pause. And obviously I really like the fact that they say there's nothing wrong with playing at lower speeds or increasing the speed when things are quiet and slowing it down will go forward. This is really important when it comes to strategy games, to grand strategy games, because there are certain things that you will need to micromanage, certain things that you can just quite happily let go when as the game is going on. There are going to be long periods of like almost nothing happening until the next event. Shockwell, it's been almost 90 minutes. We're almost at the end of the tutorial, so I'm going to just finish this, and then we are going to take a break. Thank you very much, Bees, for the hydrate there. Lotus Play, if I ever played this, I'd go for Spain, just so every time I make a claim I can pronounce. I claim this land for Spain. Thank you very much for the self-care emotes as well, yes. So, next. To start the sticking of time, we'll unpause it using spacebar. Armies will move, events will happen on screen, letters will be sent, and characters with age. Yeah, so I understand. So let's unpause. Pause it again. So, as a first task, let's remind your neighbour, the Earl of Desmond, who his rightful liege truly is. And if it happens to expand our realm, then so be it. So, we'll use the character interaction system that we were told about to declare war on the ruler of Desmond. We have a casus belli because the title that he holds, the Earldom of Desmond, is de jure part of the realm, part of the Petty Kingdom of Munster. So, we will look at Earl Murdoch. And we've got Declare War. So, it's showing us what the Casus Belli is. It also tells us that he has an ally. Who is his ally? His ally is... Oh, no, that's our ally. Our ally is our queen, who can bring the earldom of Bedford with us. They have no ally. So we seize the earldom of Desmond. So the objective is the earldom of Desmond. And if we enforce our demands, we will gain the contested county. They have a vastly inferior military strength, and it will cost us 100 prestige in order to claim the title. So, let us go to war. I understand. So, we've successfully declared war. Next, we rally our armies by pressing the button here. As I said, it will raise the armies at Lemnich. We'll raise our army. I understand. And it says, aha, the first army of Lemnich. To move the army, we left click on the army on the map. So there. Right click where we want them to go. And we are told that the capital of Desmond is the Barony of Tralee. You don't have to worry about building ships in this. If you are looking to cross water, it will automatically embark them, although there is a price for doing so. So we will right click that. Although actually we probably don't want to do that just yet. We want to actually, because we've only got 10 men there at the moment, we want to wait for we want to run it and wait for our army to get up to strength, and then we will oh, because we're also running it this time, we're also having our wedding. With my marriage to Petty Queen Edgif, the realm expects us to throw a suitably extravagant wedding celebration. It is well within my right to collect a royal aid duty as part of this, but some may consider it tasteless to levy an extra tax during time of jubilation. So of course I will collect 2 pays for their own wedding. Or I'll let my subjects enjoy the festivities without worrying or care. Well, let's go for that one. We're also in a time of war, or about to be in a time of war. So we'll say that, and we will march on that. Now that our army of moving is probably heading into a battle with enemy forces. So if we engage an army directly, we will start attacking them, as we can see here. The Battle of Tralee is going very well for us, and we have routed their forces. And now that we have routed their forces, we are going to be starting on a siege of their capital. Your army is attacking an enemy holding, and you can see that there are a set of spears which show that a siege is happening. Let me move this. Yep. And we're told that the siege of Tralee is going to take 17 months maximum. We will get 29 gold out of it. Oh dear. Sorry, my nose is running. And how long it is going to take, what our daily siege progress is, how many people we've got. Now, in order for a siege to be effective, wow, it's fort level 4. The number of the besieging army has to be greater than the garrison. But we're also told that we'll be taking 6 casualties every month due to attrition. Although there are siege events that can happen in order to speed things up. Oh, we were also told that my brother Lorcan was slain during the Battle of Desmond. Oh well, oh alas. But we captured the Mayor Carlos of Cork and a knight called Corb. I understand. To get an idea of who is winning in a war, we've got the war score, which is something that is very that is also very prevalent in other grand strategy games. And it tells us at the moment that we have a positive 50% war score. When it comes to 100, then we've got the option of enforcing our demands. Oops. So at 100 war score, you can force the other side to accept your peace. At minus 100, they can force you to accept their peace offer. And wars end in one of three ways: either a victory for us, where we get to enforce our demands, a white peace, which is effectively nil score draw, or defeat. So what you can see is if we were to enforce our demands, a surrender will tell us Earl Murdoch would keep the county, but we would pay reparations. A white peace, they keep the county, we spend prestige, but Earl Murdoch actually increases his prestige. And enforce the demands is we gain the contested company, and Earl Murdoch would become our vassal. At the moment, you can see that Earl Murdoch won't accept a white peace, so we're going to have to go for the full 100%. We do also have a couple of... I thought he was captured. Huh. Apparently we didn't actually capture Mayor Carlos. But we can, because he is in prison, we can either execute him, we can ransom him, although they won't accept, negotiate a release, torture, or move him to our dungeon, if we so wished. But let's try and get this siege finished. Our wife is now pregnant and has gained the trait pregnant. We can see that we have routed the first army of Baltimore, and they are heading out to sea to regroup. Let's up the speed. But what you can see that they have come back and they are trying to siege our thing. My son, with a tired yet blissful smile, Edgift presents me with a perfect little son. Who will you become, my child, and what shall I call you? We've got Kathleen. We can name them after me, after our father, after an ancestor. A good Catholic name or a good Irish name. What's a good Irish name? Rathak or Rethek. May you grow to be strong and wise, my son. As you can see here, that with only 6 people besieging the city, that's going nowhere. But our victory is near. Our war score is what, 100. And not to be rude, but your son looks like a bread. It's an infant. So, as you can see, we have now taken control of the county of Desmond. And the colours are hatched to indicate that. So we can now enforce our demands by clicking the war score, which you can see has now got to 100%. And we've got the enforced demands. So we've got enforced demands, we will gain the county. Congratulations on our victory. You've now experienced what it's like to make through an essential part of the game. So the tutorial is going to end here. There will be other pieces of advice, which we will look at when we come to play our main game. To my liege, blessings upon you and your house. You are a much greater foe than I imagined. In order to put an end to this bloodshed, I will comply with your demands, says Earl Murdoch. He becomes a vassal. We gain 40 fame, and we gain... Any allies would have gained 400 prestige as well. So be it. We actually captured Earl Murdoch's son and his son. I understand. Oh. But what now? There are many things we could do now that we have dipped our toes in some of the essential systems. Crusader Kings 3 is all about setting our own goals. If you want a suggestion, we'd recommend you try and become king or queen of our island. Yeah. So I understand. What there is there is also, I don't know if you, yes, you can see it, thankfully. There is an issues tab. So if you're ever stuck for what for something to do or don't know what you should be doing at any given time, it will give you an option of, here are things you can do. So, for example, we are not endorsed by a bishop, so we've got the sway scheme going. You could declare war. At the moment, we've got a casus belli on England. Or we've got a casus belli on Earl Ed MacNeil of Ellic. We've got the hook on Earl Ragnvald. A powerful vassal expects a council position now that Earl Murdoch is our vassal. Family members can get married. So we've got our half-brother and our son who still are in need of a spouse. And we can ransom our prisoner. So let's click on our prisoner and we will ransom him back to Earl Murdoch for 10 gold. Cool. So we also don't have a marshal, so that might actually be, he's got a terrible martial skill. But, you know, to placate him, we probably would assign him. Oh, we can't do that quite just yet. Okay, well. Tremendous says, a toast to our bread child. So, there is the tutorial system in a nutshell. That was a very quick run through, but I hope that actually gave you a reasonably good look at how the game expects you to come into it. Now, I'm going to take, it has been nearly 2 hours, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break here, and when we come back after the break, I'm going to talk about the tutorial system, and then we are going to move into looking at the rules and starting a new game proper. So get up, stretch your legs, take a get a new drink or anything like that, and I will see you back here. Oh, hang on. Let's actually just go back to the main menu. Let's turn the music down because I want to put something else on. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and in about 5-6 minutes, and I will see you then. Take care, folks, and I will see you in a moment. Hello, and we're back. How are we doing? Did we manage to all get, hope we all managed to get a bit of refreshment, get a bit of a break. I am back with peppermint tea to try and soothe my throat. You had bread. Well, let's take a moment after that that whirlwind through the tutorial. I hope that wasn't too quick for you all. But as I said, I wanted to give an overview because I don't want to spend the whole session just going through the tutorial on this. We want to actually get into the game and see what a new game looks like as well. Ooh, hot chocolate. I had hot chocolate earlier. I also have acquired some chocolate. I saw some gingerbread chocolate sticks in the shop when I went shopping this morning, so I thought I would try them. I only tend to get these at Christmas time, and they do a really nice chocolate orange flavour. But I saw gingerbread, and well, it's chocolate. It is spiced. I have to say the smell of the gingerbread is probably a little bit stronger than the actual taste of it, but heck, it's chocolate. I still actually have birthday chocolate left over from June, um, from the hamper that some friends got me, which was exceedingly generous. But boy, there was a lot of chocolate in there. Um, so, what did we learn from the tutorial? If you have had experience of Paradox games before, you will see that tutorial was leaps and strides ahead of anything that they have attempted to do in teaching the game to a newcomer than previously. They have listened to complaints about getting new people into the game, and I think have really taken that on board. Not only have they cleaned up the interface and made it a lot more intuitive as to where icons are positioned, the tooltips, and the help they are giving with you, but the interactive tooltip system is by far and away an amazing way to help. Previous iterations of tooltips and assistants in game have been very much lacking. And I for one am very grateful to see the steps that they have taken with this tutorial. I liked that tutorial. That was very solid. It gave you a very good introduction to the basics without being super, here is everything you will need to know in order to play the game. And still leave you the room and option to learn and get to grips with things at your own pace. I love that it doesn't throw things at you so much, but it just gives you, here is the logical progression of what you will need to know to start. Hugs for the chat, very definitely so. Annoyingly, this means I will have to pick up CK3 at some point. Maybe wait and see, wait for a sale, because I purchased this brand new. So I purchased this brand new as a like about 3 weeks after launch. So it may come down in the Christmas sales, but probably like the Steam has lots of sales, or GOG. Actually, I don't think it's on GOG. I think it is only on Steam at the moment. Oh, thank you very much, Acidic Gumdrop. Yeah, the hair is getting to the point where I need to try and tie, like, I don't know if you can see, but we're at the stage where I can try and tie it back, but it's not quite long enough yet. So it's at that stage where it's basically falling into my eyes, but not long enough to tie back properly. Yeah, I suspect a lot of people's brand new game budget for the rest of the year is going to be earmarked for Cyberpunk 2077. I won't be playing Cyberpunk 2077. Like I'm just gonna point that. I would probably point people at our very lovely mod Druttercup, who will be playing Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out. Oh, an Alice band, yes, or a Barrett thing, yeah. Actually, why do I keep forgetting that? I should go and grab one of those. Yeah, Cyberpunk Red RPG came out today. I'm very much looking forward to actually getting my hands on that book at some point. I very much liked the Jumpstart session that I did with Drudcup and the rest of the Hint Plays crew last year. Earlier this year? Jeez. I can't remember exactly when. But that is up on YouTube as well if folks want to go and see me play Cyberpunk as an RPG system. But I digress. So, as I say, I think that the tutorial system that they have introduced for CK3 here, it goes beyond what they have done for Stellaris, which admittedly was a 2017 game, 2016, 2017 game. And Hail to the Queen J has redeemed the Comfort Crew. I have Councillor Hamid right by me. How did you find that tutorial? You'd have liked more? I'm not sure how much more we could have really got out of that. We got the basics. More about fabrication. That's possible. Yeah, okay. That is understandable. But hopefully we will get to see what fabricating a claim looks like shortly. Yeah, Cozy Club. Drudcup, if you want to put a link to the Cyberpunk Red Jumpstart video in chat for Probs Not Hawkeye, you can go ahead and do so. I think mods have link power here. What exactly is Hamid? Hamid is a halfling sorcerer. If you are unfamiliar with the Rusty Quill gaming podcast, Hamid is a character played by Bryn Monroe. And you can find out about all his adventures on that show. What was I saying? I support Councillor Hamid in all things, says Are You Here? Excellent. Thank you very much for the 100 bits as well. So, with regards to Crusade Kings, as I say, I really like that. I think that was a very solid tutorial for getting people into the game, and as I say, to give them the interest of digging further, because there's also a danger of a tutorial being too surface level, and not giving you the incentive to actually try and figure out what to do next. Hamid's pronouns are he, him. I am 99% sure on that. If Bryn is still in chat, perhaps you will be able to confirm. Yes. So what we are going to do is we are going to now start a new game. And before we do so, I wanted to just talk about the rules. So one of the things that we come across in the base game, or at least if you don't look at the rule system, is Mike's Derek also a character from the game podcast? No, Derek is very much Mike's companion and nothing to do with any of the shows that we put out. The good of the Good Cow is ostensibly from the Magnus Archives, or has come to be synonymous with the Good Cows. And so what I'm going to say, we're going to have a look at the rules and the rule set that the game works under. By default, the game goes with historically accurate, and I use that in inverted commas, tenets for religions and for things like sexuality and for succession. One of the things that the game does now allow is for you to override the base rule set and apply your own levels of acceptance for these things. Now, what we're going to do is have a look at that and what that looks like. So let's go back to the game. Let me put the headset back on. Oh, Councillor Hamid, you are falling out. Okay. So let's put the music back on. Okay, and is it in game? No, where did I? Not achievements. Oh wait, I think I have to start a new game. Yes. So, when you are coming back to here, what you can do is, if you don't want to go with any of the scenarios that they offer you, and they offer you a bunch of things. So, like, you can go like 1066, The Fate of England, where you could play as King Malcolm of Scotland, or King Harold, William the Bastard, King Sven of Denmark, or Harald Hardrada of Norway. And it tells you, like, oh, playing as King Sven is going to be easy, playing as William is going to be mediumly difficult, and playing as King Harold is going to be very hard. You could go back to the scenarios presented by the Carolingians, so Central Europe, so King Louis, where you've basically got the Carling dynasty who had split Europe between them. Or maybe there's the rags to riches, which we said, Iberia, where you're trying to determine the fate of the Iberian Peninsula, with Galicia, Leon, Castile, Zamora, and Navarra. What we're actually going to do will go all the way back to, like, 867, where you could even play Ivar the Boneless, the Duke of the Isles, Alfred of Wessex, Halfdan Whiteshirt of York. What happened to his bones? Ivar, your bones! But what we're going to do is, down in the corner, you will see there is a play as any ruler in the time period. And this is what allows us to pick anyone on the map. And in 867, this is what we have got. You can do multiplayer. I've never actually played multiplayer Crusader Kings. That might be interesting at some point. You could go for a random character, or you could play as an observer, even. And as you can see, I have to give them full credit for being very open from the start of the game. In previous iterations of the game, the base game basically started you in Western or Eastern Europe, and expansions expanded the map as we went along. They have gone from the outset in including a variety of options that are not just European or historical or westernized cultures. What they have also done is made sure that, unlike in previous iterations, if you choose to start as a non-Western country, you are not penalized for doing so. Previously, they had used things like technology levels and culture levels to advocate for slower advancements. What I am at least what I am led to believe is that that is no longer the case, and you effectively start at the same level as anybody else from the get-go, depending obviously on territory and things like that. So you could play as Maganzumana, the ruler of Ghana, or Kanem or Kano, or any one of the, like, let's zoom in on West Africa. The immense variety of tribes and nations that existed at the time. So the Kong and the, for example, the Ife. What I am choosing to do is I am going to go over here because I have always been interested in Asian starts and have always been disappointed in the fact that playing in Asia has often been difficult in previous games. So what we're actually going to play in is I am going back to my heritage. For those of you who don't know, my father is Sri Lankan. My mother is actually from Guyana in in South America, but we can't play in South America, alas. My father is Sri Lankan though, and the game is giving us the option of Maharaja Sena of the Lambakuna Kingdom, which is where we are going to have a look at. And this is something that I don't think you will see many Let's Players or streamers look at from the point of view of, you know, having the historical, not necessarily the historical knowledge, because I'd actually know very little about my own heritage when it comes to this front, but I have done a little bit of reading up on my visits and such, proving I can pronounce the name. Almost certainly I got that wrong. I rang my father up before the stream to ask him how to pronounce this, and I don't think I have got it quite right. Unfortunately, I never learned Sinhalese, so I don't know Sinhalese or Tamil as a native language. I only know what little I have picked up from my father's pronunciations. So I am going to do my best. But as I say, I do have a cultural connection to this. But what I wanted to do was actually look at this thing in the corner, which says game rules. Actually, let me just keep an eye on the time, because I want to take a break I'll probably take a break around 6 or so. And have a look at the different game rules that we can play around with in order to make this a more, I hesitate to use the word palatable, but a game that more resonates with our value system. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty. Exclave independence is irrelevant to us. We're not working on murder schemes. Minor diseases, I'm actually going to say fewer minor diseases, because I don't want us to be struck down by something very simple early on. But here's where we get gender equality. Gender rules are determined by gender laws and faith doctrines. Now, this is where I was talking about things like historical attitudes to gender equality come into play as a default. What we can do, however, is set these to equal. All gender-related doctrines and laws are set to equal. The same rules and rights will apply to all characters, regardless of gender. You can also invert it. So it means that things which would be patrilineal or patriarchal are now matriarchal. And you can do it there. So like the rules and rights which apply to men under default now apply to women, and vice versa. We are going to go for equal. Regional heresies we'll leave as default. This relates to like faith-based problems breaking out in the regions that are appropriate for them. Not going to worry about the Mongol invasion. That's mostly a Central Asian and Western Europe, Eastern Europe problem. Kataspeli costs are going to default. We could use them for free. Culture conversion speed. So if you are of a particular culture, if you conquer a territory, and you will often find that it is difficult to get taxes or levies out of a region that is of a different culture to you. You can apply your steward or your marshal to improve the culture to convert to culture. I don't think you can delete the Mongols. I think you can delete you can stop the Mongol invasion. You can say that the Mongols will never invade along the path that they did previously, or they will invade around the year 1200. We're going to leave the culture conversion and the faith conversion speeds as normal. We're also going to say that our diplomatic range is is default. I'm not going to worry about the end date because I don't think we're getting anywhere near there. We can create custom kingdoms. The de jure requirement we're going to leave on. Generate families. Next one, same-sex relations. So, the view on same-sex relations depends on each faith's same-sex relations doctrine. Now, obviously, this means that for things like most of the world religions that are included in here, it means that if your character is given, say, the homosexual trait, they are going to be penalized in their interactions with other people. I am going to set that to accepted and say that same-sex relations are fully accepted by all faiths. That means we are not going to have any interaction penalties for any characters who are not heterosexual. And sexuality distribution. So, heterosexuality is the most common sexuality, while homo, bi, and asexuality are less common. We can set that to equal. We can set that for primary homosexual, bisexual, or ace distributions. I'm going to put it to equal. Now, here is where there is a bit of a drawback. You can, regardless of what you set here, it means that you will get randomly generated sexualities. Unfortunately, this does not mean that you can marry, that if you are trying to find a spouse, you will be presented with, say, same-gender options. Heirs are still necessary, and this is a game about dynasties. Therefore, it maintains that if you are male, you will need a... You will need a wife. If you are a woman, you will need a husband, male and female spouses, in order to bear children. Whilst we all know that this is not strictly true, remember this is a game of. This is a politically. Your legacy is politically motivated. Things like courtesans and such and extramarital relationships are perfectly valid, and this does mean that, like, a homosexual male character ruler can seduce bisexual or homosexual male courtiers or rulers or things like that. So at least it means that seduction schemes will work on the gender preference that is appropriate to your ruler. I am awaiting mods that will likely allow things like same-sex marriage and do alter games for you to do that. Because what it would be really nice to see is, rulers in accepted same-sex relations who are allowed to adopt, for example. I don't believe adoption is default permitted unless you get special events for it. Same goes for faith acceptance. Faith attitude towards other faiths is dictated by their doctrines. We're going to say that all faiths have full acceptance of other faiths. No opinion penalties for having a different faith. Characters and countries have historical faiths. We'll leave it at that. Rulers have their historical realms and titles. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to switch off character nudity for the stream. So characters will never be displayed naked, and events which contain nudity will be disabled. We could adopt someone in the dead of night and destroy all the evidence. Yes. Yeah, the concept of legitimate blood heirs is key here, alas. Even though we know that historically adoption was perfectly valid. And we'll leave the Hungarian migration as is because we're not playing in Eastern Europe. So, as we say, this is they have made better strides towards representation and inclusivity in the game. It is not perfect, but it is at least a start and at least better than it has been in previous. So, we are going to pick Maharaja Sena. We are 37. We are a content atheist. We are of House Lamakana. We are Buddhist. We are Theravada. We have a kingdom. And what are our traits? We are humble, which improves our piety, and means that we have a good opinion of our vassals. It means that clergy are better, have a good opinion of us. We are also cynical, which does improve our intrigue and our learning, but basically counteracts the piety, and it means that it's harder to convert to other faiths. Lower to convert to other faiths. And we are temperate, which gives our health a boost and our stewardship. And other Theravadans have a good opinion of us. So, we are going to hit play. Yes, we are Buddhist. Now, obviously, we are Theravadan Buddhist, and the history of Buddhism in Sri Lanka, in particular, is fraught. Karen, wait, there's a land bridge. Look at me not knowing geography at all. At this time, in world geography, there is a land bridge between southern India and Sri Lanka. This land bridge disappears. I can't remember exactly when, but sometime in the Middle Ages, this land bridge, which goes from Adam's Peak, which is about here, disappears. It gets completely submerged, and there is no connection between, or rather, Sri Lanka becomes the island that we all know it is. So what we have is the Lamakana Kingdom, which is held by us. We've got an independent realm. We've got the Maldives to our west. We've got the Pandya Raj across the land bridge. We've got the Chera Raj. We've got the Chola Raj. We've got Tikana of Penagonda. We have the Rashtrakuta Kingdom and the Pallava Raj, all across the straits. Many of whom will probably also be eyeing up our kingdom. And across here, we've got impassable terrain, and we've got the inklings of Southeast Asia here with Kandras, Hintada. But let's have a look at the land that we control. So, we are at the realms level. If we go to duchy level, we've got the Duchy of Sinhala, the Duchy of Sinhala. We have the Duchy of Dakina Desa and the Duchy of Ruhunu. I'm probably stressing these wrong, and I will probably I probably ought to get more more impetus from my father, which I will try and get for next time if we carry on playing this. But I believe it is Ruhunu, because the stressing in Sinhalese is weird to my tongue, basically. Ruhunu, I think. But also, I can see that we're not. So we still have to choose a lifestyle, an heir. We're not married. We're above our domain limit. Ooh. And what are our issues? We've got titles that can be created. We've got duchies. We can create these duchies. We've got powerful vassal Dhammapat Mahasiva of Puttalam. Requires a council position. We have too few spouses, apparently. We don't have the appropriate numbers of spouses for someone of our faith. And we have family members, our half-brother Udia and our son Kassapa can get married. So we'll look at those in a moment. This game and chat have something in common, too few spouses. And so if we go in a bit further, we go to the kingdom level. We can look. So we've got so the Dharma of Puttalam. So where's this? Pihur, Jaffna, Trincomalee, Kandy, Batikalawa, Dakinades, Kotte, and Rohana. And this is where our capital is. Now, how do I pronounce that? Gimhatita. I think it's Gimhatita. I'm gonna have to get my dad to have a look at this. But you've got Anuradhapura, which is a very important religious site. Jaffna, Trincomalee, and Batakalawa are obviously important areas, and Kotte is the traditional capital. So let's have a look at our ruler. We bring in a reasonably high monthly income. We've got a reasonably high prestige gain. Got good piety. What we are though is over our holdings limit. So we're going to need to create some. We are going to need to let our vassals control more of the country. Yeah. So, who is Maharaja Sena? We've got average diplomacy. We've got a good martial score. We are average at stewardship. We're average at intrigue. And we're average at learning. So we're not bad overall. We do have a martial lifestyle, which is probably going to be useful if we want to expand in the short term. We are holding 9 titles. Wow! So our primary title being the whole kingdom of Lanka. We hold the county level titles as the Tikana of Dakinades, the Tikana of Kotte, the Tikana of Rohana. So basically, of Piti, we're holding all the count level titles, which we're going to have to give up some of that. So we have our parents. We can. So it looks like we can have a number of secondary spouses. and our heir is Rajkumar, which is prince, effectively. Rajkumar Kassapa, who, if we have a look at, who is 17. He is gay. He is an amateurish plotter. He is lazy, impatient, but generous. And not great stats. So our son and heir is not ideal. But he is our only heir at the moment. And we have a half-brother who is an irrational conciliator. Oh, we are ace, apparently. Ah, interesting. But we're also an open terrain expert. So let's start by choosing a focus for us, a lifestyle. We'll go martial because we probably want to start off that way. We have been given the overseer tree, which I can't say I'm particularly happy with. It means that, although it does mean that we've got territorial advantages, but our natural dread is 15. Our learning was quite high, but so what do we get under? I think I want to go for strategist. I think I am going to reset my perks. All your unlocked perks are refunded, but we gain 100 stress. Oh dear. Okay, maybe not. We'll stick with the overseer that we have been given, and it means that we are slightly domineering. Okay, we can play that. So let's close. Oh, we need to choose a focus. I think we will, despite the fact that we have been given an authoritarian kind of tree to look at, we are going to be chivalric. We are focusing on victory comes not through blood or gold, but honor. And we will improve our prowess, which will hopefully mean that we are slightly better on the battlefield. Okay, so we have done that. We need to... Yeah. So we need to try and find a spouse. Now, let's have a look at our alliance power. Okay, let's make, we are 37. We want to make sure that the age difference is within 10. Adult. Actually, let's keep the fertility as such. So, who does this give us? Bijava Chelakatana, who has a claim on the Tikana of Banavasi. Where is Banavasi? I wonder if there's a way I can actually go to... So I believe that's going to be somewhere up here. There we go. Oh, it's rather split, isn't it? Interesting. So Banavasi is there, right? Okay, it's part of the Rashtrakuta kingdom. Okay, maybe that would give us an in on that massive area if we so choose. Vasamati, who is intelligent. What are gluttonous, patient, and ambitious? Those are not brilliant traits, although she is very good at military leadership. I don't think we necessarily want that in a spouse, though, do we? We've got foreign culture. Oh, but they are... Vasamati is a guest of Thakur Rangabanja. Is that? Yeah. Rangabanja, who is an evil planner, apparently. Vasamati is lowborn, is sadistic, lustful, but just. Now, there's an interesting set of traits. Whilst being very intelligent. Yes. Thank you very much, an anonymous gifter, for giving a tier 1 sub to Nightingale. Welcome to the channel, courtesy of an anonymous gift. Cynical, arbitrary, and calm. We've got no one. There's only one person who has like a significant claim, which is a bit disappointing. Oh wait, hang on. Alliance power. Yeah. Maybe we're just going to have to go for skills here, as opposed to somebody who's going to who we're going to be able to marry for a land gain. Because, I mean, they might be sadistic and lustful, but they're also just an insightful thinker, intelligent, and a physician. Like, those are some really good traits. And they've got amazing learning, good stewardship, great diplomacy, good diplomacy. The only thing they're not great at is intrigue. I think I'm going to an evil absolver. I think I am going to extend a proposition that, even though it doesn't gain me, it doesn't gain me a claim, that may not be such a bad thing to start with. Because I think we've got a lot of organising to do before we decide where we want to go. So let's send a proposal to Vasamati, because what it does mean is that intelligence is an inheritable trait, and it's good to know that they are likely to accept. So send a proposal. Cool. So that will be underway. We've got our son, who we need to try and find a spouse for as well, who is going to be useful. So we've got Anila Devi Guja, who has a direct claim on the Gula Raj, which is going to be, which might actually be really useful. Give the son a very cunning spouse. So Anala Devi is arbitrary, content, and forgiving. Now those are good characteristics. Has good learning, good diplomacy. Ooh. Or there's Bufa Hantawadi. Hantawadi, yeah. Or Maharani Sohota, who has claims on the Sohota Raj, has claims on the county of Pago and county of Dagon. I think I am going to try and marry my son to Anila Devi Gujar and maybe hope to get a claim on the Gujar Raj. Oh, we have. I'm out of tea. Let's switch back to the water. So, let's try and get a spouse for my son. And who else can we marry off? We also have my half brother, who. Oh, there are two sisters with the same name. Interesting. Oh wow, 18 learning. Myo Myat of Burma. They've got really good skills. Right, let's send. Let's send a proposal for him. Okay, so that's some marriages sorted. Let's see about our realm, because we're going to have to get rid of some of the. We're going to have to get rid of some of the titles, and I don't think we've got enough gold to create. Because our main problem at the moment is that we're holding all the titles, which is causing some problems with our vassals and our control limits. So I'm going to have to give something up. Who is in our council? So we've got Suri, who is our Rajpurohit, which I'm guessing is going to be the equivalent to Archbishop or something like that. And they're working on religious relationships. Yeah, your realm priest endorses you, which is good. We don't have to work on swaying her. We've got a 10 level Chancellor, Dhamapati Diganguli of Sitawaka. They are the Dhamma of Sitawaka, which is a barony level realm. Okay, let's zoom in and see if we can find where that is. Okay, so they control that. We've got a steward, Dhammapati Kitsena of Mahayangana. So in the east of the country. Our spy master. Ooh, a spy master with 20 intrigue. That is nice. They have an elusive shadow. The Dhamma of Katargama. And our half brother. Oh no. Our marshal and our Vath. Our marshal is Dhampati Udaya of Dhambadanaya. Dambadenia. Cool. Okay. So 6 martial skill is not great, and our steward is only 3. No. We can't be having that. So let's put time on a bit because I want to get the marriage sorted out before I sort out the cancel. To the cold-hearted Sena, I gladly accept your marriage proposal. I will graciously take the hand of your brother Udaya in holy matrimony. Cool. So, what is this? Greetings, Maharaja Sena of Lambakana. I gladly accept your marriage proposal. Your son and heir Kassapa and my daughter and heir Analadevi will be joined in holy matrimony. May Brahman grant them long life and many children. Signed, Raja Alakana of the Gujar Raj. Cool. So that means that hopefully we've gotten in right there. So maybe this means that we can go for some kind of diplomatic expansion on the mainland and save our military conquest for maybe more recalcitrant things, like if we want to try and get hold of Kerala. Or maybe expand east. And greetings, Maharaja Sena of Lambakona. I, Vasamati, gladly accept your hand in marriage. May Gayatri bless our union, my modest husband. Ah, excellent. Okay, so those marriages got sorted. Let's see if this affects our council now. Because what we need to do is I'm going to assign my wife to help with managing my domain, I think. She is an evil planner, which means that my wife will act against me and others according to her personality. Yeah. Let me just double check, because what is her... Yeah, because her stewardship is higher. I can't, unfortunately, assign her to the Rajpurit status, but we will see how this goes. Oh, Amy! Hey, Amy! Ah, where's the... I've lost my land! But we need a better steward. We really do. Who needs a council position? Mahasiva Puttalam. He's a reasonable marshal. He's okay at intrigue and okay at learning. Oh, well, I mean, he's a better marshal than Udaya at the moment. So let's put Mahasiva in charge of our marshal. What is he? He's zealous, he's fickle, but he's a conscientious scribe. Okay, yeah. I think you need to be... 6. Wait, what? Yeah. Oh, I must have clicked on some... Yeah. Sorry, I was clicking on Udaya. He was the wrong person. So, we're going to change our marshal. And assign... Darn it. I mean, there's a 19-year-old who has 16 martial capacity. Yeah. But no, we need to basically placate Mahasiva for the time being. So we're going to assign him to the marshal. Actually, hang on. Before I do that, yeah, he's not really got anything worthwhile. I mean, I may just have to get rid of him. Okay, fire. So Mahasiva. Yeah, I don't have a role for Udaya. So I'm just going to have to leave him. I'm just going to have to leave him there. But we need a new steward as well. We've got no... Ooh, this guy's quite good. Dumbalai. I mean, in theory, we could assign we could make our son, but we could make our sister-in-law, but we do have other guests, but no, let's assign Appia to the stewardship. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, both of those are going to require... We're going to have to try and find some way of placating them. This is very typical of the setup. We're trying to get everything in order so that we can start running with the thing. We still have too few spouses. So let me see if... So let's see what our secondary spouse is. Because this may just be that we are looking for... we're looking for someone with good inheritable traits, I think. Maybe we just leave this for the time being because it's not super necessary. Spouse number equals incorrect. Oh, thank you, Anonymous Gifter, for giving a sub to Do It Ourselves. Welcome to the channel, Amy. This may be the only time in an archaeo adjacent room that someone has said there may be too few spouses. I know, but I think we can come back to that in a moment. I think I want to get my domain limits sorted out so that... Because what we probably want to do actually is with their line of succession. So they all... I may just want to give titles to these folks so that they can... can I... I can't give titles to my Archbishop. Let's see. So you are... Oh no, they do all have... So what? So who's the best one of them? He's the best one. What titles can I grant? So they have Katagama. If I give... If I give them all of Rahana, would that help her? Probably. Who needs their opinion of me upgrading? I mean, they all could do with upgraded opinions. Can I give my wife a title? I can give my wife a title. That might be helpful. If I give my wife the Tikana of Kotte, that probably would be really helpful. So let's grant that title to my wife. So that she also becomes my vassal. And let's give my spy master a title and give him Rahana as a whole. I think I also want to give my son and heir a title. So let's close that, go to here. Let's give him, he probably deserves the title. Let's give him, I can't give him Duchy Death. Fine, let's give him the Central Kingdom of Kandy. Title. Okay. Oh, I already have a grandson. Excellent. Who needs their opinion of me improving? All of them have positive opinions of me. So let's see what kind of intrigues can I get up to. I probably ought to improve. I can negotiate an alliance with my son. Yes. How much would it cost to make a duchy? I don't have 250 gold for a duchy. Okay. Cool. I probably will need to try and save up in order to do so. Let's look at my holdings. Oh, this is my capital. Okay. Well, I need to construct a building and I don't have enough gold to do so. Cool. So it looks like we're going to have to run for a little while in order to gain enough money and hope that we are doing okay. Let's start by making a though. So this is the Pandya Raj. Let's start making inroads on Chira. He likes us, but let's try and improve his opinion of us. And we can always change this if we need to at a later date. So we've got realm, we've got military, got our intrigue, hooks and secrets. We have a hook on our grandson. We probably need a court physician. I was going to appoint my wife as the physician, wasn't I? Or maybe I can leave that for the time being. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Oh wait, hang on. We probably need to try and work on getting hold of the Maldives, because there's a rapacious. There is a rapacious blackguard in charge of the Maldives who is lazy, arbitrary, and greedy. That doesn't sound like a ruler we want on our doorstep. So, what have we got? We can get up to 1,700 soldiers, and we have 7 Shurvits as well. Okay, let's let this run for a bit and then see. I mean, we've got, yeah. I mean, our general issues are powerful vassals expect council positions. We can't do anything about them. Although, actually, I should probably try swaying him rather than, yeah. Let's do that. Oh, our son wants a council position. Yeah. Well, you're not going to lose too much over us being not on our council. You're only 17, kid. You're not old enough to have a position on my council. And we can't create the duchies yet because they cost too much. Let's also try and find. Let's assign our spy master to try and find a secret in the Maldives. And I think we're going to try and our best bet is to try and find a way to expand onto the mainland. So let's see about fabricating a claim on Madra. Yep. Okay. And then I think we can let this run. So we formed an alliance with our son. Marvelous news. Okay, and let's see what comes out of this. How long Auto is going to stream from? So Autumn is going to be streaming for 3 hours, I believe, tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Wait, hang on. Let's speed up time because I don't think there is much else we can do other than trying to find more spouses for ourselves. It seems generally quiet right now. Our Maharaj, our dear Maharaja Sena is just focusing on his kingdom. We've got a whole bunch of alliances. Ooh, wait. So, greetings, my modest liege. Despite our best efforts, my agents have yet to uncover any secret at Taco Damarvanta's court. I do not believe we will ever find anything either. There is less going on here than a graveyard at noon. Signed, our spy master. Well, okay. Let's get you working on a secret for Rahana. Oh, Venadu. No. There we go. So, let's see. I'm imagining a meanwhile in Europe with people just bashing each other's heads in. Yeah, we really just want our money to. We really need to try and improve our money. So I wonder if there's I wonder if we've got a control problem. So why is this? Ah, Maharani Vasamati gained the trait pregnant. Let's pause this a moment. Let me just see why. So. Why are armed and passive? Why is this tax level low? Oh, right. Okay, that's why. There's a whole bunch of things. Okay, because it's a religious site, it's actually uh, it's actually giving money away and arms. Um, so okay, let's not waste any more time. Okay, I think it doesn't look like there's much in the way of anywhere, so I think we'll leave our spy master disrupting schemes. Um, let's train some commanders. I think. What should our steward do? He's focused on collecting taxes, I think. Yeah. Our Chancellor is assigned for foreign affairs. That's good. And hopefully we might be able to put a claim on in Madurai at some point soon. Let me just see if we've got any. Yeah, I don't think we've got any real casus belli right now. Yeah. Okay, let's continue running. Maybe there'll be an interesting event that is going to come up. Oh, spouse aids me in martial studies. I gained 300 martial lifestyle experience. Nice. And I've gained focus student. Your spouse's excellent learning skill led to this windfall. Nice. I made a good choice. Oh, and our wife has converted to culture. Nice. Construction negotiations. Our wife is doing some excellent work. Holding a trichomaly gets beneficial deal. You've struck a deal with the builders in this holding. So that means that if we wanted to try and build something here, it might yeah, 135. So I'm wondering if we should just work on fortifying our island or making this a
for the best spouse.
Thank you very much, Charcoal. What do we want to do? Actually, let's put a... I'll take 2 years to build that. Let's build a trade port. Actually, let's see if we can start ramping up our money. Although that probably wasn't a good idea with a claim coming on its way. Okay, so we're running through 868 here. Aha. Greetings, Maharaja Sena of Lambakona. I have prowled through documents both ancient and of less certain provenance. I have finally enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of the Tikana of Madurai. Seeing as Varakanavarman unfortunately insists on being Vaishnava, I could even argue that you have a claim to the Pandya Raj by divine right. Ho! Ho 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 ho! So, do we want to... if we get more spouses, will they fight, or is that not within the scope of the game? I don't know. I have never played a culture or a ruler yet which has multiple spouses. So, what we could go for is chat. Do we go for presenting a claim on just the county? Do we just go for Madurai? Do we try and press a claim on the whole of the Pandya Raj? Or no? We're going to go into debt. Like, both of them are going to cost us significantly. and both will cost us the same loss of opinion. With Varkanavama. Go big or go home. Go for the whole thing. In for a penny, in for a pandya. IRQ conflict. Nice. If it's the same anyway, go big. It's a cost. We're going to be in debt for a while if we go for pressing the whole claim. And thank you very much, Charcoal, for the 100 bits. Much appreciated. More land, more spouses. I don't think it quite works that way, Charlton Heston. More land does mean more money. What I haven't done, actually, is checked out their military. Oh, go on then, yeah. As you say, I really like that pun. So, yeah. All of Pandya will be mine. Let's actually just have a look at how good they are. They're not a very good martial leader. Their investments are... They're chaste, lazy, just, but a fortune builder. And their spouse is quite young. I don't know, not that much younger than them. Yeah, they're concentrated on making money. Yeah, he does hold 5 titles. Ooh, that's really tempting. So it's all of that land would be potentially up for grabs. Oh, go on. I think we need to. Proto-capitalism. Evil spouse would never let anything bad happen to us. Well, I mean, you say that. Okay, well, we've got a claim on that, and it does mean that we are, wow, massively in debt. I haven't got any secrets. I think what I'm going to do is I need him on organising levies, because if we're going to try and press that claim imminently, yeah. Okay, so what we are going to do is see if we can... Let's see if we... we can't declare war while we're in debt. Oh, wow, okay, yeah. We're going to really need some money then. Although we're going to clear it relatively quickly. You are in debt, yeah. Yeah, we're going to need to clear that really quickly, because that's actually having a major impact on our vassalages and so forth. So I think we're just going to have to let this run until I get... We're basically like building up XP, yeah? Oh! With a tired yet blissful smile, Vasamati presents me with 2 perfect little children. Who will you become, my dears, and what shall I call you? Well, Kitaka or Vibelia. Well... yeah. Let's name them both after ancestors. So we've got Vasamati. So we'll name one after we'll name them a daughter after her mother, and we'll name a son Mahinda. May you go strong and wise. Cool. Okay, we've continued to sway Nampasa. My skilled wife, my wife Maharani Vasamati, has proven herself highly capable, especially in academic matters. There are some projects I would like to undertake in the Tikana of Kotte Melij, with your blessing, of course. Kotte gains encourage improvement, so development by 10%, and she gains 20 opinion. Or vassals shouldn't be taking such liberties. Take the reins. You have very definitely proven yourself. Who is this? Raiders. Ooh. I can unlock a new perk now. Yeah, I'm going to be in debt for a while, I think. Okay. Ooh. To the sensible Maharaja Sena of Lambakona, I have been corresponding with your Chancellor, Damapati Diganaguli, and I must say that you have come to see you in a new light. Perhaps you're even some way I want one day be proud to call my friend. He said at -14 opinion, and with us just waiting to send an army over the land bridge. Signed, Raja Varakunavaraman of the Pandya Raj. Your silver tongue is shining today. I'm kind. That's not going to be well. I guess that means that we can march. We can march the army right up to their doorstep. Theravada's favour increased by 10%. Aha. One of our courtiers. That's the problem, though. There are so many characters in this that you never know exactly who is who, unless you're keeping immensely detailed records. But we've got another focus, so we're going to try. Going down the overseer route. What does overseer actually give us? Let's lock that. Martial and stewardship and control growth is 50%, which isn't bad actually. So we'll go for absolute control. Because then we only need one more to complete the thing, and then we can either go for strategist or gallant. Right. Come on. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Right. Court. Got a whole bunch of competent. A sudden shock. I have ridden, taken aim, and struck so many times I thought nothing could upset my rhythm. As I take yet another gallop down the practice range, a commotion I cannot fully see makes my horse rear up. For an instant, momentum keeps me pinned to the back of the horse as it starts shaking. Then, as if time is flowing slow, I can feel myself becoming dislodged. So, calm down, girl, calm down. We've got a prowess challenge with a 37% chance of us staying on the horse, gaining 100 experience and gaining experienced rider, or 62% of us being thrown off and gaining wounded. Or I die for stable ground, better safe than sorry, and lose some prestige. Now, what kind of a character did we say we were? We're tactical, we're temperate, we're cynical and humble. We are temperate. Do we go for the prowess challenge? If we're wounded, that is a severe penalty to our health. I think we are going to be safe. Kezieka says, falling off a horse is 0 out of 10, would not recommend. Yeah, lose some prestige because they save ourselves from the horse. I think that's right. Because I don't want to be wounded. The wounded trait is really... The wounded trait is not good. We don't want a severe penalty to our health, especially since we don't have a physician. I think let's die for stable ground. Our prowess isn't great, but yeah. I think we will go with that. Oh no! County corruption. The Takano Batakaloa gains lackluster administration. This county's ruler can no longer fund the proper administration. Why not? Low county control. I think I'm going to have to send in my marshal, aren't I? Where's the control? Because one of the other things is that it's got a whole... It's got a... oh dear. What I wanted was a control map. No, not county titles. I thought there was a control level. I think I'm going to need to send in my marshal in order to be able to improve control. Ah, right, there it is. So, what have we got? What it would be helpful here is for it to tell us what 100 control, county control is 15. Okay, let's assign him to wait, what are you doing? I want you to increase control. There we go. Oh, it just slipped below 100, I think. Yeah. Okay, not long now until we're out of debt. Oh, our wife is pregnant again. Let's see, actually, yeah, let's see if we can search for a physician. Because usually... Oh, we could go on a pilgrimage. Hang on. Usually when... Because our... Did it say our wife was? Hang on, let's go back. Council, wife. Wise woman. Yeah, she is a physician. Why can I not assign her to... Why can I not assign her to the physician's role? That's strange. 'Cause usually you can. But I think we probably ought to find a physician. Oh, wait. County corruption in Dakina death. Oh, come on. Lack of sheriffs. How do I deal with that? The world is full of dangers, even to a Maharaja and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. Now they have assembled a few options to choose from. Apparently, Apia is quite experienced, but I don't want to lose more money. Danamid III seems enthusiastic if nothing else. Hmm. Hmm. That is true. She is assigned to doing a lot of other tasks at the moment. Hang on, let's have a look at up here. Lock and he is a renowned physician, though. Unyielding defender and a brilliant strategist. Okay, it's gonna put me in debt a little bit more, but I think we can wait. We can wait a little while. To be things. It's not like we haven't got a whole bunch of monetary problems, but maybe if we go to war, it will work out. Aha. Kisena has gained 25 opinion. Okay, we should probably look to see if we can sway somebody else. Let's see about... what about this one? The Cholaraj. Raja. House Chola. He's the head of his house. Okay, let's try and sway him. And see if we can't get some kind of friendship benefits out of this. He's going to put us in debt a little bit more. We're in so deep, but it barely matters anymore. What time is it? Oh, wow, it's 6:30 already. As you can see, like games like this, you can lose a lot of time in really quickly. I'm going to take a quick break here and actually go and refresh my drink because I realise my throat is getting a little bit sore. And then we'll come back and try and run through and see if we can make a start on liberating the Pandyaraj. He said, liberating. Yeah. Be my friend at sword point. Yes. Okay. Let me. Let's mute the audio. Okay. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes, chat. See you soon. Hey folks, we're back. We're back. I'm back. I'm not multiple or legion. Hey, I managed to refresh my tea. What follows is a distinct warning about cable management. I hear hot chocolate tastes better from Marquee Stream's Comfort Crew Mug. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So when I closed the stream, or rather moved to break, I pushed my chair back, took a step, and I kind of pulled my headphones. I tripped over the cable that is on the front panel socket in the machine next to me. And not only did I manage to pull my headphones down and smash the earpiece, but the yeah. So I am currently without a set of headphones. And these are nice ones. They're only about 2 years old as well. Yeah, I can't duct tape that. So I'm going to be without headphones for the rest of the stream and until I can order a new pair, which I am going to do right after this. No, the jack is completely torn out. Yeah, F for headphones. So where I might have pushed to run a little bit longer this evening, what I'm going to do is we're going to do the these are good headphones. I paid a reasonable price. Well, I say I paid a reasonable price for them. They're, you know, they are the cheaper Logitech ones, so it's not going to cost too much to actually replace them. So it shouldn't break so easily. I just need to be more careful with my cables. I am always tripping over the headphones. I mean, generally, I need to do a lot better cable management around here anyway. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go back to the game. I'm going to basically kickstart that. Kickstart that battle against. Moliere. Thank you very much for the 1,000 bits, and thank you very much. Are you here for the 200 bits? It is much from to get a caller said that I might have to look and see if Logitech do a wireless set like this. I know wired tends to be better, but I might have to see if they do a good wireless set, because I need my headphones more and more, and I do need it with the headset. So I think I will have a look and see what I can get to be sent to me, hopefully on Monday. I think we've all wrecked tech with the cords. I've burned through 2 USB-C cords in 6 months. Ouch. Ouch, that's quick. Anyway, let's get back to the game, and then we'll wrap up, and we'll take a view on what we want to do next. So, because I would like to just show off how we are going to do this. Let's resume. Oh, actually, I'll put the music back on for you. Settings, game. Although I am not going to be able to hear this. So, okay. So, we've got a whole bunch of swayed efforts. We're still in debt. Okay, come on. Let's try and run this out so that we can muster our forces. Do we have a castle here, actually? Yes, we have a castle in Anuradhapura. I want to... Where's my military? I want to put a new rally point in. Let's add a rally point here, because if we are going to go to war, I want to be able to raise my forces close to the land bridge. Hit X, yeah, that's a really good one. I have tape. What I was going to do is, so I'm off. Like, I've taken next week off work. I am absenting myself from Rusty Towers for next week, barring my stream. And that was this is the week that I was intending to basically tidy up my room studio. I need to reorganize this and do all the cable management. So yeah, cable management is supposed to be coming in like a couple of days' time. But yes. Okay, so we've created a rally point in Anuradhapura. So we will, when we want to put our armies, that is where they are going to be. We have a new daughter. We will name her a good Sinhala name. Anuradhi. Yes. May you grow to be strong and wise, my daughter. Okay. So let's close that down. We are just waiting. We can have a faith religion on faith religion. Faith religion? Nah. We can have a lesson in faith. Aha! We've increased the control in that, so good. So let's put him to work on increasing control in Dakina. We also want What were we also looking for? Closing that. Oh, the harbour is finished. Yes. Okay. Well, we can't build anything more, but hopefully that's pushed us up a little bit more. We're now at plus 7.6 gold a turn. A month. Yes. Okay. We've increased the control in. Okay. Cool. So we've done that. Oh yeah. We need to. So we're in 870. We're 3 years in, and I think we're doing okay. We've got a claim on a foreign territory that we're hoping to use to expand. We've got a lot of raiders coming in around us, which is a little bit worrying. No, sorry. Unpaused. We've given our son the Kingdom of Candy. Well, the Duchy of Candy. Well, actually, not even the Duchy, because we don't have the money to. Aha! We are back in credit. I'm going to let that rise to about 100, because I want a reasonable. I want a reasonable buffer in case we need to bring in. In case we need to bring in any water. Ooh, what have we got here? Sway, religion, convictions. I've got an idea in my attempts to align Raja Vikayalaya to my interests. Perhaps I could argue that it is in the interest of all Vaishnavas to support me rather than any other Theravada ruler. Ha 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 ha. So, I believe I can make a very convincing argument, and yes, 75% does seem to suggest that we can. So we will regain a bunch of what we call prestige. That's it. And he gained 50 opinion of us. Nice. Or leave it at 30. Yeah, no, we can be convincing. I'm the best Theravada ruler. So let's convince him. What? What? We lose 75 prestige. Darn you RNG. We had a 75% chance of that working. Anyway, rude. Yes. But we are positive. So let's have a look and see what happens if we want. Ooh, we've got a new perk for the martial lifestyle. Okay, well, let's see what will happen if we were to declare war. Ooh. We've got 2 claims. So, the claim is on... Oh, no! We can't declare war because we don't have enough... we can't declare war because we don't have enough prestige. Ah, darn it. What can we do? Wow. If we wanted to just subjugate him. Oh, we could go for just a straight subjugation. But my fame is less than exalted among men. Wow, he's got a high fame. Their military strength is inferior to ours. Not by a huge amount, though. So my claim is on... Yeah, I want the duchy level title. Oh, but it's not on Tagadur. Ah, it's just on the duchy. Oh, it's just on the Pandya Raj there. Okay, yeah. Interesting. I mean, obviously I would prefer to do that, but 1500 prestige is just... wow. So what do I need? I need 313 prestige. How am I going to boost my prestige? Do I have a counselor who can boost my prestige? So he's working on foreign affairs. Don't think I've got any other prestige boosts right now, which is annoying. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna push her into politics because it's the same. Because that will boost my diplomacy and hopefully mean that I've got improved prestige now. Yeah, because that gives me 7% monthly prestige. Aha. Right. Training a warhorse. As I inspect the stables, my gaze is drawn to a mare kept away from all others. She throws her head and stomps her hooves, displaying her powerful hindquarters and well-arched neck. This creature has the best of conformations and the worst of tempers. I have never seen such a warhorse before, but the stable master insists that she is impossible to train. I'm not one to back away from a challenge, which may gain me a lifestyle perk and the horse might become my own steed. Such a fine steed would fetch a hefty price. My stable master will learn a lot from taming her. What does experienced stable master do? Lock. Your character's stable master is very experienced. Knight effectiveness is 20%. Light cavalry damage is 5. Heavy cavalry damage increases by 5. I think my stable master. I think experienced stable master is a good. Can we give evil horse to evil wife? Alas, no. We haven't. We aren't able to make. We aren't able to make her a knight. I think I will get experienced stable master because I think that's probably going to be really useful. Darn it. I need way more prestige because it's going to take me ages to get prestige at this rate. Okay, well, let's get the overseer trait because that improves my martial, my stewardship. Okay, fine. Let's close that. Really need some way to. Do I have a better chancellor option? No, my best chancellor options are all 12, which is no good. Not when we've got a powerful vassal to try and placate as well. Yeah, I can declare war on Raja, but so what happens? You can afford the cost. So upon declaring it, so I'll get a fame penalty of 626, and I will lose a level of fame. No, I can't afford that. I'm already not great. Yeah. I need to keep it. I need to keep up the ability to get this. So Where are we? We're at 10-2. Okay. It doesn't look like I'm going to get enough prestige by the end of the stream. What I might want to do is actually read up and see if how I can actually get some more prestige in the short term. Ooh. A notable guest has arrived. Indravarman Svitaka Ganga has a claim on the Tikana of Svitaka. On somewhere. Thank you for all the spoop. I will redeem. Councillor Hamid is back to advise me in a special capacity. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do? How are we going to get more prestige? I don't think that's going to work. I don't have the technology to fast forward time that much. Look, we're already at level 4 speed. Ooh. There is fan work over in RQ fan work. I will have a look after the stream. I can't really bring up Discord right now, or I might do it when we drop back to solution more spouses. But I think we probably do have to find more spouses actually. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to call it here, and we are going to. Yeah, we're coming up to 7. Does anyone know actually if Tim and Amy are streaming this evening? Are they going to be doing a Sherlock Holmes thing today? Let's save the game. Save that to cloud. Okay, Tim hasn't tweeted anything. Okay, no worries. I just thought they might, given that they did yesterday. So somebody said something about fan works. Oh, Joe. Joe and Dacium, thank you very much for that lovely piece of art. If you're not in the RQ Discord, ! Discord will get you a link there. And in the Fanworks channel, there's a really nice picture of me and Councillor Hamid. That is just adorable. So thank you very much for that. What are our take-home messages here? So, Crusader Kings 3. Really like the tutorial system. It has really made it a lot easier for people to jump into this game and identify what it is that they want to do, where it is they want to go, and help them pick up a very difficult and a very large micromanagement game with relative ease. Obviously, we have seen that there are plenty of decisions and things that the tutorial doesn't cover, particularly if you're going outside of Western Europe. I mean, the whole thing about faith and multiple spouses is something that we will need to look at in greater depth. That being said, I think it is a really good and really solid way to bring people into a new game, or at least into a new version of the game that isn't as intimidating. I think what we can say is that it has reduced the intimidation factor of a grand strategy game like this. I think that will be my take-home message from that. As for the game itself, we've talked about like the settings and the game and the game rules that you can tinker with, which I think is a very good idea. I hope you found it an interesting look at the start of a brand new game. I don't know, how are people feeling about this? Would people like to see me come back to this play, to this to this story and see where it goes? Because I can do that on a future one of my streams. You'd love to see more, or maybe even bonus streams. I don't know if there's going to be time over the holidays, maybe, to do that. We need more Evil Wife and Evil Horse. Both interesting and super chill. Okay, thank you. Oh, good to know Viking Arcana was a good time. Okay. I think we can get at least one more stream out of this, because what would be interesting to showcase is what happens when there is a change of leader. So what is going to happen when Maharaja Sena does eventually pass on? Are we going to lose? What happens when we go to claim the Raj across the waters? Love to see more East Asian CK3. Yeah. I'd say I really want to see how it goes, and just make sure and like confirm for myself that this doesn't play differently than if we were playing a Western kingdom. But yeah, the succession dynamics are something that we really need to look at, and will be interesting to showcase on stream. So, a little bit of admin to tidy up. Thank you very much, everyone who has cheered, who has subbed, who may have subscribed to the Patreon, who may have donated. It is super appreciated. We couldn't do the RQ Streams project without you, and especially as like we're approaching. I mean, this is 10 months now that we've been doing this. We're coming up to our anniversary at the end of January. So we're going to start figuring out like what it is we want to do for our 1 year. I know Mike has a bunch of ideas, and Mike will be back with us. We'll be back in his regular slot next Saturday at 4 p.m. GMT, where he will be looking at clips and such from RQGG's, our charity gaming stream from years past, and reminiscing and reacting to clips, much like I did on Wednesday. You can go back and catch the VOD for my Wednesday stream if you want to catch up and hear me talk about past charity gaming streams. As a reminder, we will be doing a 24-hour charity gaming stream coming up on the 12th and 13th of December, starting at 11 a.m. GMT on the Saturday, where myself, Mike, other members of the stream team, and including more of our US crew will be gaming, will be laughing, will be doing various shenanigans in order to raise money for multiple charities related to mental health and such. I'm just waiting to confirm which charities it is that we are going to be fundraising for. Stay tuned to our social media and such on that next week. Before I go, also, I would also like to say that I do have a slight notice, because with many of us, many folks here being gamers, particularly fans of RPGs, I would just like to make you aware of this is a sponsored ad read. RQ shows at the moment are being sponsored by a publishing company. To say that Brandon Sanderson, of the Stormlight Archives, his new book comes out next Tuesday, the 17th of November. War of let me remember what the title is. Rhythm of War, Book 4, is out next Tuesday. I just said that, Bryn. As I say, if you're fans of The Witcher, if you're fans of fantasy storytelling, then that will be available in all good bookshops. Do support local bookshops if you can. Yeah, that is out next Tuesday. So, advert over. As I say, just something you might be interested in. If not, go check out the Stormlight Archives. I have not read them personally, but Bryn is a very big fan of Brandon Sanderson, so I am sure you can ask him more about that if you're looking for recommendations. Did Stream hear it through the wall? Yeah. Yeah, I know Brandon Sanderson does some really good world building. The Mistborn saga is good. That I have read a while back. Thanks to Bryn. So yes, as I say, that was end of ad. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I will be back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. GMT with the first session of my next long play game. Those of you who may not have seen me talk about this, I opened it up to you all to see what you would like me to play next as my next full run through game. That will be, whilst I'm not going with the first choice because the first choice was Disco Elysium and I'm not quite in the right frame of mind to play that game yet. We will play Disco Elysium on stream. I do really want to play it, but I don't think right now is the best time to do so. So instead, what I will be starting on is Fallout 4. Yes, you will get to see me play an FPS RPG. Which is going to be interesting. Whilst I am a big fan of RPG games, they have tended to be more of the fantasy variety. Me and guns on stream, me and shooting games have not been very mixy things in the past, but I am really interested to see how we can do a playthrough and look at what sort of build we can do for that. And obviously, I say obviously, these sorts of things may not be obvious to you. The Fallout 4 and particularly Fallout 3 have a targeting system known as VATS that should help with the shooting aspects of it. So yes, the other thing I need to do also is install the bug replacement mod because I have entomophobia. Certain creatures in the Fallout universe will trigger that. I have seen that from other playthroughs, so I am going to be modding out things like radroaches and bloatflies. Because I know there are bug be gone basically mods for people who have similar phobias. Cool. In other streams coming up tomorrow on this channel at 4 p.m. GMT, Community Assistant Autumn, my amazing community assistant, will be here taking you through roguelites, and in particular we'll be looking at two games. We'll be looking at Dead Cells, which has chat interaction. So chat will be able to get involved as well. And Enter the Gungeon, a bullet hell, or as part one of these roguelike bullet hell games, which I know we have been umming and erring over showing off, but it is a genre that is popular. So you can look forward to those two games being shown off on stream tomorrow. On Wednesday, as I said, I've got the Fallout stream. Also tomorrow, there is a whole bunch of things. Obviously, the Brothers Meredith will be streaming at 4 p.m, probably continuing Divinity Original Sin 2. At 6:30 p.m, over on the Hint Plays channel. That's twitch.tv tv/hint_plays. It is time for Swords of Slaughterdeep once again, an AD&D 2nd edition campaign, which I take part in. So you can see me playing RPGs over on that channel, and you can see how my glyph scribe Onja, a speciality priest of the god of literature and languages, is getting on, along with a very colourful cast, including our own mod Drottecup. Then I also believe that there will probably be a MacGuffin & Co stream at 8 as well. So a lot of things coming up on Sunday. As I say, Mike will be back here next Saturday, and I will be back on Wednesday to entertain you with post-apocalyptic wasteland shenanigans. So thank you very much for all your support, for everything that you have given us. Oh, yes. Alistair and Marguerite, if you enjoyed them playing Little Hope with Alex and Hannah a couple of weeks ago, they are finishing off Windbound at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning on EA, over on the EA podcast channel. So that's twitch.tv/EA podcasts. So lots of good entertainment coming up from us and from various RQ friends. So yes, thank you very much. I will probably be on the Discord a bit during my time off, but I am going to try and do as much relaxing and game playing for myself as I can. So thank you very much for being with me. I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.